He knows what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Kerry Wood on Marquee on the pregame show. So that was Friday. That was when Skenes and Horton pitched against each other. And I love listening because we all watch Kerry Wood, right? I mean, Kerry Wood was one of the filthiest pitchers out there when he first came up. And you listen to him react, and he was watching Horton and Skenes highlights, and the one in particular is watching Skenes. And we made a joke about Skenes and not staying with the Pirates, and they're not going to re-sign him, but he is legitimately one of the top pitchers in the game. And watching Wood watch his highlights, you get a sense of like, holy cow, like this guy is just unbelievable. So that was Kerry Wood talking about Skenes, talking about Cade Horton. That was before Friday's game. That was on Marquee's pregame, and you heard Cliff Floyd on there. And Floyd and Woody played together, I believe, on the Cubs when Cliff was there, right? So,
yeah, it was funny. Kerry Wood was talking about, I think Floyd said he was 1 for 9 against him or something like that, and Wood remembered that he was a low ball hitter. He's like, he still had his hitter profile. I was like, yeah, you were a low ball hitter. I remember, yeah.
I love that they remember that stuff.
If you were to find a jersey or if you swap a jersey, one of the players on the National League, who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last year, so
Nice.
I'm gonna probably say Harper.
Maybe Judge. He's one of the greatest to play the game in the last 5, 6, 7 years, so it'd be cool to have his jersey.
Ellie's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Ellie'd be a cool one. I mean, his jersey would probably be too big for me. It'd probably go down to my knees.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, like, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Coming back from Perez. If he caught it in at his chest, it was one thing. If he caught it out in front of him with his arm extended, it was another. And location was based on where he caught it, and nobody ever figured it out. Nobody ever figured out how Maddox and Perez called their pitches, but that's how they did it. And just watching the highlights after you know the kind of the trick, again, a very fascinating, very baseball-y, very thinking man's part of that. But Greg Maddux was playing on another level. There's no doubt about that in terms of mentally what he was able to do. He was able to pitch. He was able to move the ball. He was able to outthink people. He was able to throw it where he wanted it, and that kind of offset the lack of velo. But the guy was a pitcher. He was an artist. And again, the Maddux documentary on MLB Network, a great watch. We have one more soundbite I wanted to play for you guys, and thanks to Sean Sears for pulling all this. But it was the same thing. It was Kerry Wood and Ben Zobrist on Marquee, and Woody and Zobrist talked about what they have loved seeing about the current Cubs team.
I mean, I like the way that they've responded, too, to any sort of challenges. Early in the season, when they had to go over to Japan and then come back and start up and everything, like just the way that they responded to some of the injury stuff that have taken place and guys stepping up. And that's what you kind of keep hearing is it's not all on one guy or one part of the team. Everybody comes together and they're building upon each other's confidence, it seems like.
So we heard Kerry just talk about PCA and Seiya Suzuki, but then there's Kyle Tucker, there's Ian Happ, there's Michael Busch. When you take a look 1 through 9 in this lineup, how dangerous are the bats if you're a pitcher out there on the hill? Because I know you love the way these guys are swinging the sticks.
Oh, man, it's really scary. It's got to be if you're a pitcher out there. I mean, and also late in the game, I think that starters are one thing that you get a couple of bats off of and you can kind of you wear them down over time, but I think even relievers coming in to see how this team has come back late in games and things like that, the offense never seems to be done. We're always expecting something else to happen.
Right. There's not a let-up spot in that lineup.
That's right.
You don't get down to the bottom like, I can get through this inning or I can get out of the gym. There's no let-up.
No relief. And that's why I wanted to ask you, because we've talked with Fergie Jenkins a million times, and he said his blueprint every single game was he'd want to know how to get past the first 4 hitters in every inning. Do you have that luxury with this 1 through 9?
I don't think you do with teams like this. I think, like I said, everyone's a threat and top to bottom, and it seems like there's guys always on base. We're stealing bags, and there are guys in scoring position. So there's no let-up. There's no let-up in the lineup. But speaking of Japan, I was in Japan for those two games in that series, and it was a different thought. Watching those two games, I'm like, man, this might be a long year. We just didn't look good.
Right.
I don't know what it was, or they looked that great, or what it was, but we got back. And
longer flight time.
Man, we turned it on and we got back. It's been night and day. Night and day team. So it's been fun to watch.
That's Kerry Wood and Ben Zobrist on Marquee. That was Friday pregame. Some great stuff there. Again, you could listen to those guys talk baseball and talk Cubs all day, and they were analyzing the current Cubs team and obviously talking about Cade Horton before that. Before we get out of here and send you to Wrigley Field and Matt Spiegel for your pregame show heading into Cubs Pirates, a quick look around the league. We've been National League heavy with the Cubs, but you look in the American League, the surprise team, I think it's safe to call them, Sean Sears, the surprise team that's with the best record in the game, the Detroit Tigers. If you were not closely paying attention, I could probably give you 3 guesses and you might not come up with the Tigers, but the Tigers have the best record in the game, 46-26. They're going to win the Central. I think can we call this already here on Father's Day, Sean?
Yeah. No, I think the Tigers are right there. I think it's easy to say that. I mean, the biggest surprise of the season for sure, right?
Yeah, easily.
Right?
In my mind, they are easily the biggest surprise of the season.
The Royals are they were kind of there for a second, but now they're tapering off. This AL Central isn't quite as strong as people thought it might be coming in, but the Tigers have kind of kicked the crap at everyone in
Tigers are running away with it. They do have the benefit
Robbie Triano's delight.
Yeah. Well, and we've jokingly said in the White Sox realm, back when the Sox were competing for division titles, that the Sox get to beat up on the AL Central all season. Well, the Tigers get to beat up on the AL Central all season. So you've got Sox, Royals, the Guards, and Twins are right around 500. But Detroit running away with it. The Yankees, to no one's surprise, are in first place in the East. What is a surprise is the last place team in the East, 11 under. And if they sell, there's some pieces there. I don't know who they'd sell. Probably not any of their young stars. But Baltimore is 11 games under 500. With a negative 82 run differential. That is a head scratcher to me.
And that's after a 6-2 10 game stretch, right?
Correct. Yes. No, they have won 6 of their last 10. They've won 2 in a row, and they're still 11 under 500. So
rough.
That's a rough one. The Astros ahead of Seattle out west. The Rangers kind of lurking, as are the Angels. Over to the National League, the New York Mets with the best record in baseball. Pete Alonso is having a great season. Juan Soto, not so much. But Alonso can opt out, and I'm sure he will. Philly is right there. Atlanta is struggling. The Dodgers, Giants, Padres all figure to be playoff teams or competing for playoffs this year. Arizona is above 500. So there's a lot of contenders. St. Louis and Milwaukee in the Central are above 500. The Reds are above 500. I didn't realize that. They're 1 game over. So the Cubs, while they are handily in front, they're 5.5 up on the Brewers. They have Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Cincy all over 500. It's not a gimme division any longer with a bunch of patsies. The Pirates, however, today's opposition are 14 under 500. The Cubs hope to put them 15 under 500 with a win today. Colin Ray throwing for the Cubs. Stick around. Speaks will have your pregame. Time for us to get out of here. It's been a lot of fun working on the show today. Our thanks to Sean Sears, who does a tremendous job producing the show. We appreciate you, buddy. Our thanks to our guests, Brett Boone, Andy Martinez, and the aforementioned Matt Spiegel joined us from the press box. Glad to talk to all of them. Glad to talk to all of you on the phone and via text. Happy Father's Day to all.
Legend Ozzie Guillen at the Rincon Family Services 2025 Swing for a Brighter Future Golf Outing, Tuesday, July 15th at Cog Hill Golf and Country Club in Lamont.
This is the best fans. I love you.
Join Ozzie in raising funds to support youth mental health initiatives in our community, all while enjoying a day of golf, including dinner.
We're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Spots are limited, so register now at events/golfstatus.com and search Swing for a Brighter Future. Together, we can create a positive change and support Rincon Family Services.
Good to know.
This segment is sponsored by thechicagodogs.com. Enjoy Chicago Dogs baseball all summer long at Impact Field in Rosemont. Enjoy fireworks spectaculars every Thursday and Saturday. Bring out friends and family on Sundays for a catch on the field, autographs, and $3 bottomless popcorn and soda. For tickets, go to thechicagodogs.com.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or...
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century. And certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
This is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
First America.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some
that have trusted Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value for 50% off. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off.
Abbey Springs Golf Course on the shores of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin has completely renovated green complexes and practice facilities. 4.5-star Abbey Springs rivals any course in Wisconsin. For tee times, go to abbysprings.org. Abbey Springs, still Wisconsin's most beautiful golf course.
You're about to head out and your phone starts blowing up. The temptation is real. What if it's your situationship texting back? Even if it is, what are you going to do? Respond now? It's getting thirsty. You turn on Do Not Disturb. Smart move. Your roster is a train wreck, but your driving doesn't have to be. Drop it and drive. Think you could put down the phone and pick up some points? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the Retro Arcade.
And now, Odyssey, WSCR, 670 The Score, and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network exclusively present the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Brought to you in part by CatchDesMoines.com, Citgo, Chef IQ Sense, Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, Fitzgerald Equipment, Patriot Pavement Maintenance, TimberTech Decking and Railing, Bet365, The Village of Bedford Park, and McGrath Acura of Westmont. And now your host, Zach Zaidman.
Now this, today, looks more like summertime baseball weather in the greatest city in the world. 69 degrees, a few clouds, but plenty of sunshine as well, headed towards a high of 72, and no rain in the forecast. Matt Spiegel here in for Zach, who will be in for Pat at first pitch. Wishing all of you dads out there a happy Father's Day. And kids, if you haven't called your dad yet, grab that phone before first pitch at 1:20. When the Cubs will take on the Pirates, finishing off a stretch of 13 games in a row before a much-needed off day tomorrow. And as we bring in the great Ron Coomer for a conversation, Coom, after a challenging road trip, which saw the Cubs go 4-5 against some very tough pitching, Pittsburgh is here for 4, and the Cubs could take 3 of those 4 with a win today.
Yeah, it would be a very nice stretch for the Cubs coming off, a 3-city road trip. And you win 3 of 4, you're kind of off and running and back on the winning ways. And this is a series you expect to win, but, Pittsburgh has played very good baseball as of late. They swept the Phillies before they came into town. So this is a team that, you look at it on the schedule and you weren't quite sure, but this is a team that's playing pretty good with very good arms, and we're going to face one tonight.
Yeah, this conversation with Coom is sponsored by Yingling Traditional Lager, the oldest brewery in America, and by Hatfield, Better Care, Better Pork. You're right, they're 14-10 in their last 24 games, 17-17 with Don Kelly as manager. And as we move to the keys to the game, sponsored by Heat and Frost Insulators and the Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors, visit local17insulators.com, and by Toyota. Visit your Chicagoland Toyota dealer or toyota.com. Colin Ray on the mound for the Cubs, and you mentioned it. Mitch Keller is a good veteran arm, and a couple of infrequent starters in the lineup for the Cubs today against Mitch.
Yep, absolutely. So first of all, with Keller, I've always been impressed with him. He's got good stuff, kind of that 4-pitch guy. But he's good, and his record is terrible. But that doesn't mean he's pitched terrible. He's been in the game 6 to 7 innings over, I think, his last 8 starts. That means you're giving your team a chance to win night after night. He's just got no run support, and you and I talked about that before we started the open today. So you got your work cut out for Colin Ray. Has to command his fastball. When he does, he can be very good, because then that secondary pitches come into play and become a very good weapon for him. Cubs lineup today, Birdie in the lineup, I'm a big fan of that. I think if Johnny's going to be one of those guys that's going to help the Cubs ball club, he's got to play some, and it's a good thing Counts has got him out there today to get some at-bats and get out there and play. So a very good thing today for the Cubs with a few different guys. And Tucker getting a day off today, another thing that you really got to do on occasion and that will give him 2 days off in a row with the off day tomorrow. Now it's time for the Bet365 bet of the game, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. Beautiful day here at Wrigley, as you were talking about, Maddie. Wind probably won't be much of a factor. It's mid-70s by the time we get to game time. Cubs are minus 1.5, plus 150 on the bet. The over-under is 7, minus 110 is the bet. I like the over. I think the ball is going to carry today. I think there's going to be some runs scored today. The home run ball, I think, is going to come into play today. Michael Busch plus 575 for a home run, 550 for Armstrong in center. Pete Armstrong obviously has been lighting it up all season long. The bet of the day, Justin Turner, first home run, plus 1,100. The vet is going to, I like his chance of punching in today and getting his first bomb.
That'd be a lot of fun. Thanks, Coom. How about some runs and some hits for the Cubs? They have been few and far between, but a well-rounded team finds ways to win. These Cubs are that. We'll get into it next right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday with Rahimi and Harris, 10 a.m. to 2 on The Score.
Future You is using their Rapid Rewards for their next vacation. All thanks to present you signing up with Southwest Airlines, where you earn points every time you fly. Because what's the point of points that Future You can't use? And since your Rapid Rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward Future You with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed. Yeah, a.k.a. you're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
To be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. We think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors today, but also about how do we bring new collectors into the space as well. It's really what we do it all for.
.7 for the other 57 games they played. Still, they use overall team play each day to win.
Thank you so much, Bruce. You can hear Bruce with Mully and Haw sometimes. They talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday morning from 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. A red-hot hitter is also the Cubs' best defender. May not be who you're thinking of. The details are next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Matt Shaw. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
There's nothing better than watching the game live. And with Xfinity Sports and News TV, you can stream over 50 live channels for $150 less than YouTube TV per year. From game time to prime time. It's the local channels you love, the news channels you need, and the sports channels you can't live without. History-making moments aren't going to wait for you, and replays never do it justice. So get Xfinity Sports and News TV today for all the live action you could want. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium. A $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Xfinity Sports and News TV. The live TV you love with savings you'll love even more. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira-joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. And say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Refresh your home with Benjamin Moore. Now through June 16th, save 20% on Benjamin Moore Woodlux exterior stains and samples at participating retailers. Visit BenjaminMoore.com.
The Cubs radio pregame show is driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. You know, the Cubs take on the Brewers in a 3-game series starting this Tuesday, June 17th. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Matt Spiegel in for Zach Zaidman here on the pregame show. And let's pause 10 seconds right now for stations to identify themselves on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago sports on the Rahimi and Harris Show. Middays 10 to 2 on WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Time to take a look at who's hot and who's cold. Sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency? Call the professionals. Available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. Nico Horner, in his last 5 games, he's 7 for 18 with 3 multi-hit games, including 2 singles yesterday when he also scored the game-tying run. Nico also leads the team with 11 defensive runs saved. That's a Baseball Info Solutions stat, just ahead of Pete Crow Armstrong's 10 in center field. Who's cold? Michael Busch and Ian Happ both. On this homestand, they are combined 2 for 19, 1 hit apiece, but that could change for one of them. More on that later. Time now for the injury report, sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services. Shota Imanaga threw 44 pitches over 4 innings yesterday in the Arizona Complex League and followed that up with 11 more pitches in the bullpen, so 55 total for Shota. Eli Morgan also threw in that game out of the pen, 15 pitches over 1 inning, 5 more in his bullpen after for 20 total. A big-time weapon in a terrific Cubs bullpen is enjoying his role there. Hear from him next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network. Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score.
Plumbing emergency? Plumbers 911 can...
Now, representing the organization, Jim Leland and A.J. Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Terzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to, and so I credit my dad for that.
Quick as you can, and there's nothing like it. You know, it's fun. I mean, I never thought I'd see that because I've been a starter where it's like you kind of prepare all day, and you know big build up. You get days off to kind of get your body ready, and it's just like as a bullpen, you kind of like split your day in half between like you enjoy your first part of the day and then you like have to lock it in the second half of the day, and it's fun because it's like you don't know when you're going to get in there, so it's like on the edge of your seat the whole time. And like I said, there's nothing like the adrenaline spike. It's intense, but it's enjoyable.
I could see it being a fit for certain types of people, like the instant gratification of my time to go, and you got to rev it up, right? Yeah. Did you ever think of yourself in that way?
No, honestly, I didn't. I mean, my whole career been a starter. I mean, all throughout the minor leagues and then the big leagues. I mean, I came out of the bullpen my first 2 months in my career, and then here and there, the rest of my time. But no, it's never thought I'd enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah.
It's something new. I think that's also like the cool part. It's like kind of sometimes you get into like a monotonous like routine, and it's like even when it's not working, you're like, do I switch that? Like when you're starting versus here, it's like every day's different, right? Like every day is a new day, and it's just like you get into a routine of like what I know it's going to make my body ready for the time that my name's called. But every game's different. You see different things every day. It's just fun. It's enjoyable, and we got a good group down there that keeps it light and fun, and I think that also attributes to a lot of it. I
feel like the closer job is one of those things that fans and certain media talk about, some with an old school mentality. It's clear, especially the way Craig does this, he's looking at matchups. Mm-hmm. So it might be like Palencia in the 8th inning the other day against 2, 3, 4, and then Presley in the 9th. Doesn't mean there's some role fluctuation or whatever. Like, do you guys all think about it like that, or are you aware that he thinks about it like that? Like he's bringing in the best matchup possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of just identify pockets throughout a lineup of like, oh, this seems like a good fit for these two guys. And I think one thing that we do a really good job down there is just like we communicate with each other that way, like none of us are really caught off guard. Be like, hey, like I think we could see you getting into this spot. It's like, okay, like I'll get prepared for that, and you just kind of like go down the list, and like I said, I think that's helped me out a ton, because before you don't really know, like you just kind of like phone call, it's you type of thing. Versus now it's like we kind of communicate pretty well down there, just being like, hey, like we got 3 righties coming up, or we got 2 righties like top of the lineup, like big situation, like could go to Danny, could go to Press. I mean, it could go to anybody. So I think that's one thing that's helped.
Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
We wanted to introduce something new, and then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
Percentage above 500, 3 homers and 3 doubles. So maybe he will get it going today. Time to now to bring you some of Craig Counsell in pregame, but instead it was the bench coach Ryan Flaherty. And Flash talked about Shota Imanaga and what the time frame and plan could be after Imanaga threw 55 pitches yesterday in Arizona.
Imanaga, big update from yesterday's game.
He threw 45 innings, went out and threw 45 pitches, and then, 45 innings, pretty good. He did go out right after that and throw one more inning in the bullpen, and he's going to throw a bullpen in Arizona, and then he's going to make a start with Des Moines, Iowa in next Friday.
That's good stuff.
So one more bullpen and then a start Friday.
Start Friday, yes.
Right. When's the bullpen, like Tuesday?
I'm not totally sure on that. I think they throw the second day, Yeah, sounds right.
There you go. So the second day in Arizona, he'll throw a bullpen and then a start in Iowa. And if the pitch count gets up, you can expect Shota Imanaga probably back in the rotation after that. The Manager Show is sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. The pitching matchups are sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Colin Ray will make his 11th start, his 15th appearance. He's got a 3.92 ERA, 4 wins and 2 losses. He's given up 16 earned runs over his last 4 starts. For Mitch Keller, his 15th start, at least 6 innings pitched, and 11 of his 14 starts, as Coomer was telling you about earlier, Ron Coomer was. 12 earned runs, though, Keller has given up in his last 3 starts. So maybe we get some runs and some offense on a Father's Day Sunday today. Coming up next, an anthem and a ball game right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen for great Cubs guests all season long on The Score, official radio home of the Cubs.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest...
a sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte, in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
The father-son duo of Nate and Wade Klinger on this Father's Day with God Bless America and the National Anthem. And, of course, the National Anthem is sponsored by Patriot Pavement Maintenance, simplifying pavement maintenance for industrial, commercial, and educational clients. Time now to take a look at the Around the Baseball scoreboard, sponsored by Great Clips. It's going to be great. 10 games around the league have started before this one on a busy Father's Day. Jose Barrios and Zach Wheeler in the Blue Jays-Phillies matchup, and good rivalry games abound. Trevor Story with an RBI single. The Red Sox on top of the Yankees, 1-0. Dodgers-Giants is the Sunday night ball game. Time now for Cubs baseball with Zach Zaidman and Ron Coomer. That's next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has greeted fans with sustainable restroom products at Wrigley Field for 111 years. And now Sloan is excited to introduce new innovation to Cubs fans throughout the concourse with its brand new bottle fillers to provide clean drinking water while reducing plastic waste throughout the friendly confines. Learn more at sloan.com and go Cubs go!
Car accident? Call DNW right now. Slip and fall? Call DNW right now. Any accident at all? Call DNW Law right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
Cubs fans, Pat Hughes here. Join Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman, and me for every Cubs game on 670 The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
He drives one in the air, deep left side.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte, in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
Like build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. Like, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to like take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show.
Run affairs, including the Cubs' 2-1 win yesterday. Today, a couple of veteran right-handers pitching. Colin Ray for the Cubs, Mitch Keller for the Pirates. Let's get right to the starting lineup, sponsored by Verizon, the most reliable 5G in Chicago. For Don Kelly's Pirates, a record of 29-43, last place in the National League Central, 14.5 games behind the first-place Cubs. O'Neill Cruz, the leadoff man, and he's in center field. The designated hitter is Brian Reynolds. Nick Gonzalez plays second. The cleanup man is first baseman Spencer Horwitz. Former Cub Alexander Canario in right. The left fielder is Adam Frazier. Batting seventh, third baseman Key Brian Hayes. The catcher is Brett Sullivan. And hitting ninth for the Pirates, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, their shortstop, with right-hander Mitch Keller on the mound. Meantime, for Craig Counsell's Cubs, a record of 43-28. First place in the National League Central, a 5.5 game lead over second place Milwaukee. Ian Happ leads off and plays left. Pete Crow Armstrong in center field. The right fielder is Seiya Suzuki. Batting cleanup, first baseman Michael Bush. Dansby Swanson at short. The second baseman is Nico Horter. In the number 7 hole, it's the designated hitter Justin Turner. Reese McGuire is the catcher. And batting ninth, third baseman John Birdie, with veteran right-hander Colin Ray on the hill. First pitch next. Cubs and Pirates on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
News just in today.
And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. Seasons apply in app only.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yuengling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yuengling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. And happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Cubs with another chance, as you were just talking, to win a series, 3 out of 4 here, back home, get back, into that winning way of winning series, and been low-scoring games. Today could be a little different. The weather is much more baseball-like than we have had so far here at Wrigley Field.
That's a great way to put it, Coom. It is baseball weather at Wrigley Field finally for the first time in this series. Partly cloudy, 70 degrees at the moment. A light wind blowing in, but as you mentioned, doesn't appear to be the kind of wind that would stop balls from leaving the yard.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the game. So, the ball's going to carry. We saw it carry some yesterday, but it's really going to be a good baseball day here. You throw it while you pitch it while you're going to get your outs, but if you hit one well, it's going to go out of Wrigley Field today.
The Game Time Temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. Colin Ray on the mound for the Cubs, 34-year-old right-hander, 4-2 this season with a 3.92 ERA in 14 games, 10 of them starts. Left-handed hitting center fielder O'Neill Cruz stands in for Pittsburgh. And we are ready for baseball as Ray sets at the belt, kicks and delivers. A swing and a miss, strike one. And the finale of this 4-game set officially underway here at the friendly confines. Ray starting off Cruz with a curveball.
Cruz right away stepping out going, that didn't feel great, swinging at that one and being out in front of it by about 10 feet. I've been there. I know that first pitch of the game and they throw a hook at you. That's not right.
The next pitch is inside for a ball, 1-1. Ray going with a fastball there. Cruz hitting at .221 on the year, 13 home runs, 30 RBIs. He's just 1 for 12 in this series. Here's the 1-1. That's outside, 2 balls and a strike to count on Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz has only hit just a soft single. So the Cubs have kept him at bay for this series. You got hopefully 4 more at-bats to do the same.
Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit in the right.
Or not.
That was a breaking ball from Ray, and this time Cruz was on it. So the Pirates start things off with a single to right by Cruz, who's got excellent speed, 25 stolen bases this season. It'll bring up the designated hitter today, Brian Reynolds, switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Ray.
Yeah, for Ray, the big key, that last pitch right in the middle of the plate, even though it was a breaking ball, and Cruz hit it well.
Here's the pitch. Outside to Reynolds, 1-0, a fastball that missed.
Pirate hitters, I'm assuming Cubs are going to be the same way. Guys using, with the blue wristbands and shoes, different decals on the shoes, and a blue bat for Father's Day today.
The pitch. This is looped caught backhanded style at short by Swanson. In one motion, he fired a throw to first, couldn't get much zip on it. So Cruz dives back in safely, but one away.
Good pitch by Ray, and this is, that good fastball that he's been featuring as of late. He's already topped out at 95 miles an hour, and that one, big jam shot to Reynolds, so good pitch to get the first out. Speed gun powered by Xfinity. Get seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
Nick Gonzalez at the plate. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Ray. A long set and the pitch. Inside almost hit Gonzalez. 1-0. Defensively for the Cubs, Michael Busch at first. Nico Horner at second. Dansby Swanson is the shortstop, and the third baseman today, John Birdie. Left to right in the outfield, Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Seiya Suzuki, with Reese McGuire behind the plate. Throw to first, diving back in safely, Cruz. Phil Cuzzy is the home plate umpire today. Tony Randazzo at first. The crew chief, Dan Bellino, manning second, and Clint Vondrak at third. Ray works on the first base side of the rubber. Cruz goes, the pitch fouled away, out of play off to the right by Gonzalez, 1-1.
Cubs caught a little break there. That's a good pitch to hit for Gonzalez. Cruz had a good jump, and he's got to return to first, and Gonzalez fouled the ball off.
Gonzalez is 2 for 7 in this series. He's batting .250 this season in 40 at-bats with 1 home run. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, uses a bit of an open stance. The pitch. Line drive base hit over a leaping Birdie into left field. So the Pirates have something going here in the top half of the first inning. Men at first and second, just 1 away. And the cleanup man, Spencer Horwitz, due up.
Little two-seamer up and in. Actually, not a bad pitch. Gonzalez just covers this ball. It's on the inside corner. He hooks it right over Birdie's head. So Ray I think that was his first two-seamer that he's thrown, but that one got hit in the left field. But really good location on that fastball.
Horwitz hitting at .214 and 84 at-bats. He's 2 for 7 in this series. Cruz at second, Gonzalez at first. 1 down, top of the first, the finale of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pirates. Ray deals, and Horwitz swings and misses at a splitter, 0-1.
Cubs playing Horwitz around a little bit towards the other way. Pete Crow Armstrong about 2 steps to the opposite way in center. Everybody else kind of straight up.
And the pitch. Low and inside to Horwitz, 1-1. The defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Ray peers in, gets the sign from McGuire. Straightens up, sets at the belt, and deals. Horwitz swings and misses at a splitter, 1-2.
Another good pitch by Ray. He's thrown a couple splits now, and this is a good one. This one starts out inside corner about mid-thigh and ends up diving down.
Now time called by Horwitz. Steps out of the box.
I just saw the grip on the pitch on the replay from Ray, and that's not a split. That's a changeup. That's a circle change he threw. On our scoreboard it said split. We all went with it, but my eyes are telling me something different, Z.
The runners go. The pitch, line drive, base hit in the right around third, and coming home is Cruz. The throw goes to third, and it hits Gonzalez in the back as he slides in safely. RBI single for Spencer Horwitz, and the Pirates strike first. A 1-0 lead over the Cubs here in the first, and Pittsburgh still threatening with men at the corners.
Cubs are going to have a chance, and a really good chance, of throwing Cruz out at third base if this ball is not hit. He does not get a good jump at second base, but with that being said, Horwitz hammers the ball into right, so then there's no play at either place. I'm kind of surprised Suzuki even threw this ball to third instead of just throwing it into second. That was a little bit on a riskier side. It hit the runner Gonzalez and could have went anywhere, but Cubs fortunate, stayed right in front of Birdie.
Alexander Canario, the former Cub, looks at a ball inside, a fastball that missed. Canario hitting at .213 and 127 at-bats this season. He's got 3 home runs. A long set by Ray, and the pitch. Canario fouls it back, 1-1.
First inning powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Canario, 25 years old, powerful right-handed batter, hits out of a bit of an open stance. And the 1-1. A broken bat, soft ground ball fielded at third by Birdie with the bare hand. His throw to first dug out beautifully by Bush. That's out number 2, but coming in to score on the play is Gonzalez. And the Pirates now have a 2-0 lead over the Cubs here in the first. Advancing to second on the play, Horowitz.
Yeah, nothing you can do up to the Cubs. This ball is a jam shot to the max. Shatters the bat at home plate. And just a little dribbler just off to the shortstop side of the mound. And Birdie does an excellent job coming in and barehanding this ball and making great play to get the out at first. But it does drive in the second run.
So now Adam Frazier stands in and looks at a strike from Ray. 0-1. Fastball. Frazier on the season hitting at .259. He's got 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Ray, who looks at second and deals. And check swing foul ball at the plate. Frazier in the hole 0-2.
Well, there's no doubt Ray is making a conscious effort of pitching inside to this Pirate lineup, both righties and lefties. He had the big jam shot at Canario that did drive in a run, but the ball only went about 60 feet. And now Frazier getting busted in.
The 0-2, low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Reynolds a jam shot to short that was caught in the air by Swanson. So we're going to see a lot of fastballs in from Colin Ray. Not inside where you're knocking guys down, inside to pitch inside to get outs.
And the 1-2. Check swing at a pitch inside on appeal, no swing, says the third base umpire Clint Vondrak. It's 2-2.
Another good pitch. First cutter he's thrown in the game. He tried to cut that one in and get the strikeout. And Frazier did a pretty good job of checking his swing.
Ray deals, and Frazier fouls it back. 2-2. Prior to today's ball game, just 11 total runs scored over the first 3 games of this series. Cubs won the opener Thursday night 3-2. In 10 innings, Pittsburgh took game 2, 2-1. The Cubs a 2-1 win yesterday. And here in game 4, it's a 2-0 lead for the Pirates. The pitch is low. Full count with Frazier at the plate and Horowitz at second. Ray's ready, sets, kicks, and delivers. And a high fly ball hit to right center field, playable for Crow Armstrong, who ranges over and makes the catch for out number 3. But the Pirates do some damage in the top of the first, scoring twice. 2-0 Pittsburgh as we head to the last of the first. On the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Chicago, this is Kyle Tucker. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them. And I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to, have that moment and have everyone so excited to, have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Vinny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ gets a hit, Vinny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Vinny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 29-year-old right-hander Mitch Keller on the mound for the Pirates. It's a 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh here in the bottom of the first. The pitch, an awkward swing and miss by Happ. 0-1 the count. Keller is 1-9 this season with a 4.15 ERA in 14 starts. As Keller kicks and delivers, high and outside, 1-1. But the record really doesn't tell the whole story, Coom.
No, it does not. He's a quality pitcher, and, he wins his first game of the year, and he's been on an absolute losing streak. But he has given his Pirates club a chance to win night after night that he takes the ball. I believe what Matt Spiegel said in the pregame show is he's gotten the worst run support of any pitcher in Major League Baseball. But this guy's a quality starter, and he's not going to make it easy on the Cubs today. Fastball, curveball, slider, change, all good stuff. Happer takes that one, counts 2-2.
Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the right-hander Keller, who faces home plate. Now he winds and deals. And Ian smacks it foul off the netting to the left. 2-2. 6 times this season, Keller has thrown a quality start and ended up with a loss. That tells you all you need to know. The 2-2.
You just don't hear that. Right? I mean, you just don't. But, he's on a team that's struggling, offensively very much so struggling. And, it's just one of those things.
Pirates have lost 11 of the 14 games he started this season as Happ fouls it back 3-2. Keller's last start was a loss Tuesday against Miami. A quality start, 3 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings, no walks, 4 strikeouts. As Happ takes ball 4 low and outside as Keller missed with a slider. That was a close pitch. The Cubs start things off with the bases on balls as Happ heads to first.
Keller goes a little backdoor breaking ball, trying to hit the outside corner, and just didn't get back to the plate. Great at bat for Ian to get to first base. Excellent take on the 3-2 pitch.
So here's Pete Crow Armstrong batting second today. Happ goes the pitch. Crow Armstrong shows bunt, pulls it back. The throw to second, nowhere near in time. Stolen base for Ian Happ, his 4th of the season. The count 1-0 with PCA at the plate.
Big jump by Ian. He just takes off early. He just starts hopping and then he goes. No chance at second base. Stolen base. Stolen bases. They're sponsored by Turo Tire.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Aturo.com, and we'll see how this goes today. Cubs get the right guys on. See if they try to make some things happen on the bases today. Jumpstart that offense a little bit.
PCA waits for the 1-1 delivery. A long set by Keller. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball, 94 mph. 1-2 the count on Crow Armstrong.
He a little tardy on that last heater. That wasn't a good hittable spot, but had something on it. Keller's going to pitch between 93 and 95 miles an hour with that four-seam fastball.
The 1-2. A ground ball hit to second, fielded on a belt-high hop by Gonzalez. His throw to first in time to get a hustling PCA. 1 away, advancing to third on the play.
Pete Crow Armstrong hits a little too hopper to Gonzalez that he's jogging over towards first base to field this ball. It's as routine gets in the big leagues for an infielder. And it's an absolute bang-bang play at first base, and Pete Crow Armstrong getting a hand because of the hustle down the first base line from our Cub fans.
Seiya Suzuki stands in. The pitch. Seiya grounds one up the middle, backhanded, shortstop side by Gonzalez, across the body throw in time to get Suzuki. Nice play, but coming in to score on the play is Ian Happ, and the Cubs are on the board. It's Pittsburgh 2, Cubs 1, after the RBI via the ground out by Seiya.
Well, Cubs play, situational hitting. If you're going to do it, Beaker Armstrong does the right thing and hooks a ground ball after the stolen base. And then Seiya takes the second pitch and hits it up the middle, almost gets a base knock, but does drive in a big run.
Michael Busch at the plate. And he looks at a strike from Keller, a slider that spins into the zone, 0-1. RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. The pitch. Busch pops it foul out of play off to the left. 0-2. Suzuki now with 58 runs batted in this season. Continues to take advantage of those opportunities. Busch a .260 average, 11 home runs. The pitch. Fouls it away again, out of play off to the left. Count remains 0-2. Cruz, the center fielder, shading Busch the other way toward left center. Here's the 0-2. Looped, shallow left along the line. It'll drop in for a base hit and bounce over the wall for an automatic double.
You get behind in the count 0-2. You're just trying to survive an at-bat and see if you can do something good. This is a little breaking ball, and it's an absolute mistake by Keller. This ball's middle curveball. Bushy lets this ball get deep and just goes the other way with it. Ball hits I believe it hits the warning track going along the sidewall, and because that's where it hits, it bounces up into the stands for a ground rule double.
So now Dansby Swanson with an RBI opportunity. Cubs down by 1. 2-1 Pittsburgh. Last of the first two away. Busch at second. Swanson homered in yesterday's ball game. The pitch is low and outside by Keller. 1-0. Swanson with 13 home runs on the year. 2 for 10 in this series. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch. The pitch. Low and outside again. Another slider that missed. 2-0. Keller, 6'3", 212 pounds, a native of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Looks at second. That's where Busch is. And the 2-0. Low and outside again to Swanson. It's now 3-0.
Keller's trying to pitch Swanson away, and he's just been unable to hit that outer third of the strike zone against Dansby.
Wind blowing in, partly cloudy, 75 degrees here at Wrigley Field. As Keller looks at second, sets, kicks, and deals. That's a called strike. Fastball on the outside corner, bottom of the zone, 3-1. Two-1 Pirates with 2 down here to the last of the first. Cubs looking to tie it up right here. Here's the pitch. Swanson, a ground ball, base hit in the right center field. Busch around third. He's coming home. No throw as Busch scores. Tie ball game. RBI single the other way by Dansby Swanson. 2-2 Cubs and Pirates here in the first.
2 out runs are just killers against a team when you know you're a pitch away from getting out of an inning. Dansby gets this little slider down and away, and after the fastball away, goes with this ball. Perfect swing by Dansby in this situation, and he shoots this ball the other way. That is music to the ears of the Cubs hitting staff and Craig Counsell. If Dansby's staying on that hook away, they're going to have to come inside. That's when he starts doing damage. So great at bat for Dansby Swanson.
You said it right at the start of the broadcast. The conditions very different today at Wrigley Field in the first 3 games of this series, and already it's a 2-2 game. We're not even done with the first inning. Swanson at first, 2 away. Nico Horner at the plate. Keller deals. Called strike. Fastball top of the zone. 0-1.
Now you got to keep an eye on Dansby. I got to believe Counts is going to cut these guys loose a little bit here. See if they got something on Keller where they can take off a little early. It's happened once already.
He's not going. The pitch. Ground ball hit hard up the middle. Fielded second base side by Gonzalez. Sidearm throw to first in time. Horner's retired. That ends the first inning, but not before the Cubs tie it up. 2-2 Cubs and Pirates as we head to the second on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Bet365 is now live in Illinois. Download the Bet365 app. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Our second inning is brought to you by Seaglass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Happy Father's Day, Matt Spiegel. 2-2 game as we begin the top of the second. Key Brian Hayes shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike on the outside corner. Fastball from Colin Ray. 0-1. Hayes hitting at .233 on the year. 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. Ray deals. And this pitch is popped up. Foul territory off to the right near the coach's box. Michael Busch fighting the sun, makes the catch. Angling toward the first base dugout, 1 away.
Sun definitely, we haven't seen the sun a lot here lately, but no matter where we've been, but sun going to play a factor as long as it's out right now. It's still a little hazy here, but sometimes that's worse. Bushy battling that sun and kind of giving it the old sidewinder catch, looking off to the side to try to get that ball out of the sun.
Brett Sullivan, the catcher at the plate, left-handed batter. Looks at a strike from Ray, another fastball, 0-1.
One thing you're going to say is that sunglasses are pretty fresh and new. And nobody has issues with their glasses. They haven't had to use them much.
Not here at Wrigley. Here's the 0-1. That's in there for strike 2, a slider. Sullivan hitting at .250. Just 4 at-bats this season. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 away. Got him with a splitter. Or was it a change? I didn't see the grip.
See, I'm looking at the grip and the pitch on the replay, and they've said split a bunch up, not a bunch, but they've said split some, and it looks to me like it's a somewhat of a circle change. It's definitely not the forkball splitter type pitch that, we're all accustomed to seeing, that's for sure.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa looks at a 95-mile-per-hour heater for a strike, 0-1. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by our Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Righty-righty matchup. The next pitch is a swing and a miss by Kiner-Falefa, 0-2. 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates with 2 away in the top of the second. The finale of a 4-game set. And the pitch. Pop fly, shallow right, drifting back corner. The second baseman makes the catch, backpedaling just in front of Seiya Suzuki, who's charging in from right. Pirates go down in order here in the top of the second. Middle 2, 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates on the score. And
there's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Quality is better than other places, and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do it like
Conditions apply. Make smooth cuts with the Bosch Miter Saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The Cubs have teamed up for an online auction benefiting Project Main Street. Bid on game-used items and exclusive experiences like calling play-by-play for half an inning on Marquee Sports Network. The auction is live now through Sunday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. on Cubs.com/auction. Zach?
Matt, thank you. Justin Turner looks at a ball inside from Mitch Keller to begin the bottom half of the second inning. The next pitch is a pop-up on the infield left side on the dirt. The third baseman, Hayes, makes the catch as Turner's retired, one away.
I'm going to make a call today that Turner is going deep. If they keep pitching him inside, today's going to be the day. Father's Day, he's going to blast one into the bleachers. Right. One of these next two ABs.
I'm writing this down as we speak. We'll circle back before all is said and done. Reese McGuire stands in. Left-handed hitter. Keller deals. Breaking ball up high. 1-0 the count. Hayes playing in at third, wide of the bag, just along the edge of the grass. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1 on McGuire. Cubs wearing their traditional home white uniforms with the blue pinstripes, the iconic Cubs logo on the front left part of the jersey, blue numerals and lettering on the back outlined in red. The pitch, fouled out of play off to the left by McGuire. 1-2. Blue batting helmets for the Cubs with the red C on the front. Many of the Cubs are wearing powder blue accented wristbands, shoes, sleeves. McGuire using a powder blue bat. That pitch up high. 2-2. It's Father's Day, and the powder blue is supposed to raise prostate cancer awareness. Pirates wearing traditional road gray uniforms, jerseys and pants. Black numerals and lettering on the front and back outlined in gold. Keller kicks and fires outside to McGuire. Full count. Black caps for the Pirates with a gold letter P on the front. Keller wearing powder blue shoes on this Father's Day. The uniform descriptions are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Here's the payoff pitch. High and outside. Ball 4. A one-out walk for McGuire and the Cubs. Here in the last of the second, it's a 2-2 game against the Pirates. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore.
Let's see now if Birdie can do a little something here at the plate, getting a start today. And, starts have been tough to come by with the middle infield of Swanson and Horner playing every day. And Shaw swinging the bat better, so it's good that Birdie gets a little chance to get out there today.
He swings and misses at a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-1.
If you want any kind of production at all, whether it be offense or defense from your bench guys, they've got to get in there. Craig Counsell knows that as well as anybody, and so giving Birdie a chance to play today is important.
Birdie swings and misses again, 0-2. Another fastball from Keller. McGuire being held on at first by Horwitz. Not much of a lead. The pitch. A ground ball hit on the right side. Fielded on the edge of the outfield grass by Gonzalez. His throw to first is in time to get Birdie. 2 away. Moving to second on the play, McGuire.
A little inside-out swing by Birdie. Almost got that one through on the right side in that big hole on the right side. Gonzalez does a pretty good job of ranging over and making this play. Gets second out of the inning.
That'll bring up Ian Happ, who walked in the first. 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates here in the bottom of the second. McGuire represents the go-ahead run in scoring position. Happ, switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's always hit Keller well in his career. Keller looks at second, kicks and deals. Foul back by Happ. 0-1. Cubs have drawn 2 walks so far against Keller. Walks by Cubs batters are sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Happ.
Fastball away to Ian. Pretty good one, too. 95 with some good action on it. Big gap in right center field for Ian. He gets a breaking ball and shoots it in a gap. That's probably going to be a triple where they're playing him.
And the pitch. Up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was another heater from Keller. Keller has said that he was around 10 years old. He was briefly a Cubs fan. He had a Cubs cap growing up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The 1-2. Happ swings and pops it foul out of play. Off to the left. Stresses it was a brief point in his life. But they'd make the 4-hour drive from Cedar Rapids to Wrigley to watch Major League Baseball here at Wrigley.
Then what was he a fan of? There was a brief point. Not sure, huh?
We didn't go that far with the research. The 1-2 delivery. Happ swings, pops it foul out of play again. Second deck off to the left.
Zach, sorry I asked.
By the way, Pat's doing fine if you're wondering. Pre-scheduled, had this series off, and he'll be back with us when the Cubs resume action Tuesday. Start of a big series against the Brewers here at Wrigley Field. Happy Father's Day, Pat. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Changeup fooling Happ on the inner half. And McGuire is stranded at second base. After 2, tie ball game. Cubs 2, Pirates 2.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green. You're an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
Cubs 2, Pirates 2, top 3 at Wrigley Field, where it's currently 75 degrees, wind blowing in, partly cloudy day. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Colin Ray deals, O'Neill Cruz swings, and it's a high fly ball, playable to left, Happ under it, and makes the catch. One away. Cruz didn't even run, just a little bit of a jog after hitting that pop fly to left.
Yeah, he's getting into a bad habit of not running balls out. Even his base hits, he's had 2 in the series, and he's barely gotten to first base. That's not a good habit to be in.
So Brian Reynolds now stands in with 1 down in the top of the third, 2-2 game. The pitch is a called strike, 0-1. We've got the maestro today, Paul Zarang. Happy Father's Day, Paul. He's helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. We thank his dad, Eddie, for giving us Paul. The pitch, inside. Did it hit Reynolds?
I think it hit the bat.
Oh. Cubs catch a break there, 0-2 the count.
I don't know how it missed Reynolds, to be quite honest with you. He pulled his hand. Oh, it hit the knob of the bat, that's how. I thought this had elbow or forearm written all over it. And it ended up, it was a two-seamer and running back just enough towards the strike zone that it hit the knob of the bat.
I say the Cubs caught a break. They did, but so did Reynolds. That didn't hit his hands. Here's the 0-2. That one apparently missed outside.
No,
that was a close
it
pitch.
Didn't. It just didn't get called. Phil thought this ball was going to run off the plate. It did not. Phil Cuzzy, a very good umpire. They just missed that one. That one hit the outside corner.
All right, so 1-2 the count. And the pitch. outside, 2-2.
When the catcher, the pitcher, and the batter all kind of act like it's a strike, that'll tell you something, especially the hitter.
You said it all right there. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates, one away. Top of the third, 2-2 the count on Reynolds. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Ray, who works his motion and deals. Line foul off the netting to the left. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Your headquarters for Cubs Talk, it's the Mully and Haw Show, mornings 5:30 to 10 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Colin Ray puts the ball in the glove. Along set, the kick and pitch. And Brian Reynolds swings, oops one to left, angling toward left center half, and he makes the catch. Routine fly ball, 2 away.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Good pitch by Colin Ray to get the little routine fly ball to left. See if he can finish off this inning, get through the middle of this lineup.
Nick Gonzalez will stand in, the number 3 hitter today for the Pirates. Right-handed batter, hits out of a crouch, bit of an open stance. Ray works on the first base side of the rubber. He deals. And that's a strike. 0-1, a slider that spins into the zone. Each team scored twice in the first inning. We're tied at 2 here with 2 down in the top of the third. Ray grew up in Cascade, Iowa. His pitch is hit to left, angling toward left center, and making the catch is Happ. Another routine fly ball. 3 up, 3 down for the Pirates here in the top of the third, middle 3. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. And we'd like to remind you that this third inning and slow down in action is brought to you by Izervay. We head to the last of the...
All right, Ryan, PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this. Now, they all have the same grade, or?
No.
So one of us will be like the
cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Ask Reardon Insurance Group in Norwood Park if auto owners make sense for you.
James Hardie Building Products knows how important your home is. That's why they're rated the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardie is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardie Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Bottom 3 at Wrigley in a 2-2 game, and Pete Crow Armstrong is who's on deck. That's brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Last of the third, Matt, as Crow Armstrong digs in against the right-hander Mitch Keller, and the first pitch is fouled back, out of play, and that ball goes off the hands of Cubs public address announcer Jeremiah Paprocki. It's close, couldn't snag it. The next pitch outside the PCA, 1-1. Got the treatment from the crowd here at Wrigley Field. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. Here in the bottom of the third, Keller the kick and pitch. Crow Armstrong grounds one to the shortstop, and Kinder Falefa rifles a throw to first just in time to get a hustling PCA. That's 2 infield groundouts for Crow Armstrong, Coombe, and he's almost beaten both of them out. One to second and this one to short. One away.
Yeah, this, half a step. 2 plays in a row on routine ground balls, and, that says something, and what it does is it puts a lot of pressure on the defense also. So we'll see how that progresses. But if he keeps doing that, you're going to see a lot of mistakes in the infield on routine plays where guys just know they got to speed up the process.
Seiya Suzuki at the plate looks at a strike. The count 1-1 to the Cubs right fielder today. Seiya drove in a run with a ground out in the first. His 58th RBI. The pitch in there for strike on the inner half. Fastball clocked at 95 mph from the right-hander Keller, 1-2. Got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Keller whirls and deals, and Suzuki fouls it back, 1-2. I'll start the game off. I'm going to go 40,250.
Okay. 4250?
Mm-hmm. 0-1-2. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Suzuki.
40,500 I will go.
All right.
Boys?
I'll go 40,000 straight up. 40,000 flat.
The 2-2. Popped up. Right center field. The right fielder, Canario, makes the catch. I was watching Cruz, the center fielder, and he must have sprinted 100 feet from his position in center. And for a while it looked like he was going to catch the ball, but maybe the wind drifted it more toward Canario, who made the catch, 2 away.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I think, for Cruz, he's still learning the position. We've seen it out there. He's a great athlete, has a lot of skill for our game, whether it be running, throwing, as this ball's hit down the left field line by Michael Busch, foul. But a lot of skill, but, he hasn't played a lot of center field, so there's going to be plays where he's thinking it's his, and, it's going to be, somewhat routine for the right fielder. He's just got to be out there more, and that's what the Pirates are doing. They're running him out there every day in center field, and kind of a learn-on-the-fly type of thing. We were in Pittsburgh when they started to move him out there last year, and it kind of got a little pushback from Cruz to the Pirates, but I think that makes them a better team. I really do.
Busch fouls that last pitch off the netting to the left. So 0-2 the count on the Cubs cleanup man today. Busch doubled his first time up. Keller delivers. And Busch looks at a ball low. 1-2, a slider that missed. We need Paul Zarang's guess in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game.
40,922 for Paul.
Best of luck, men, as Busch looks at a ball low. 2-2. 2 away here in the last of the third. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. As Keller faces home plate. Now spins and delivers. Busch pulls one on the ground. Off the glove of a diving Horowitz. It ricochets to the second baseman, Gonzalez. He throws to first with the pitcher Keller covering, but not in time. Infield single for Michael Busch.
Second hit of the ball game for Bushy as he smokes this ball in the hole between first and second. Horowitz does a good job, lays out for this ball, and it hits him right off the tip of the glove. So second hit of the game for Michael.
And Dansby Swanson will stand in. He had an RBI single to tie up the game in the first. 2-2 Cubs and Pirates with 2 down here in the last of the third. Busch with good speed at first. The pitch to Swanson is hit high in the air. Off to the right, foul out of play. 0-1 the count on Swanson. All reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Infield playing Swanson to pull. The pitch pulled on the ground to third, fielded by Hayes. His throw to second is in time for the force, and that ends the third inning. We head to the fourth, tie game. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago.
won a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now. Instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Got one final. The Reds beat the Tigers in Detroit for the second straight day. Ellie De La Cruz, a home run for the fourth straight day.
Matt, thank you. Spencer Horwitz fouls one away out of play off to the left to begin the fourth inning. Cubs 2, Pirates 2, the finale of a 4-game set.
Phillies are up on the Blue Jays 6-2 behind Zach Wheeler. Kyle Schwarber with an RBI. The Orioles out front of the Angels 4-2. Rockies and Braves tied at 1, bottom 6.
Thanks, Matt. The next pitch is low and inside to Horwitz. Count 1-1. Horwitz had an RBI single in the first. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Colin Ray, who works on the first base side of the rubber. And the pitch. Pulled on the ground to first. Fielded behind the bag by Bush. Underhand toss to Ray, covering first in time. One away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Good start here in the fourth. Good pitch. Starts out inside. Just get the little rollover ground ball on the change to Bushy.
So here comes Alexander Canario, the former Cub. Drove in a run for Pittsburgh in the first on a ground out. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Ray, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball on the outer edge, 0-1.
Canario, one of those guys when he was with the Cubs, and you know, you'd see him in camp and spring training. Big time pop in his bat. Had done some good things in Iowa, and you just wondered, that pitch misses wide. He needed a chance to play to see if he could produce and do well at this level. Cubs made a move, and and he was able to go over to Pittsburgh, and so now you'll get a chance to see if he gets playing time, whether he could play at this level or not, because he's done everything else you're supposed to do.
That last pitch inside to Canario, 2-1. Canario just 25 years old. One of the guys the Cubs got in the Chris Bryant deal with San Francisco a few years back. The 2-1. Canario takes a ball low and outside. 3 balls and a strike to count. Canario played 21 games over the last 2 seasons with the Cubs. Hit .231, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. Remember his first career home run? It came against these Pirates. A grand slam in 2023. Now the pitch. Fouled out of play. Off to the right. Second deck by Canario. It's a full count.
Yeah, there was never, wondering whether or not he could hit for power in this league. He's a strong young guy. You'd watch him take batting practice. Needs the ball a mile. So it'll be interesting to see how he does here in a Pittsburgh uniform.
The payoff pitch misses inside. Ball 4. A 1-out walk for Canario and the Pirates here in the top of the fourth.
Fastball just missed. Good pitch by Ray. Excellent take by Canario as that ball just missed off the inside corner.
Cubs 2, Pirates 2. 1 on, 1 out for Pittsburgh here in the top of the fourth. The left fielder Adam Frazier digs in. Left-handed batter. Canario being held on at first by Bush. A long set. Throw to first. Getting back standing up. Canario. The infield alignment the Cubs are using. They're playing Frazier to pull, so Swanson up the middle just to the left of the bag. Wide of the bag at third is Birdie. Pitch. Foul back out of play.
And this fourth inning is sponsored by Wintrust, home of the exclusive Cubs debit card. Member FDIC, EHL lender.
0-1 on Frazier. He flied out in his first at-bat. Ray taking his time. And now the pitch. Misses outside with a breaking ball, 1-1. Ray was a 12th round pick by San Diego in 2011. The pitch. Line foul off the netting to the left. 1-2 on Frazier. And it's never easy to make the majors when you're a 12th round pick, but he debuted with the Padres in 2015. Spent time with the Marlins in 2016. Pitched briefly for the Cubs in 2020. And here comes the 1-2. Low and inside check swing. Did he go on appeal? Yes, says the third base umpire Clint Vondrak. And that is strike 3. Frazier just staring at Vondrak as he walks back to the Pirates dugout along the first base line, 2 away.
Yeah, curveball down and in to Frazier. He did not think he went. We have not had a good look in our camera shots here and replays in our booth. So we do not know whether or not he swung or not, but it doesn't matter. Vondrak says yes.
His word means something. Key Brian Hayes fouls one back, 0-1. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Ray. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. 2 down, a man at first in Canario. Hayes at the plate with an 0-1 count. We're in the top of the fourth, 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates. Throw to first, diving back in safely ahead of the tag by Bush, Canario. So I mentioned that Ray had a first stint with the Cubs back in 2020. And then spent the last 2 years in Milwaukee before signing with the Cubs in January. And he's been a big pitcher for the Cubs. The pitch is low. McGuire fakes a snap throw to first. 1-1 the count on Hayes. I mentioned Ray has been big because he was the guy inserted into the starting rotation for the Cubs when Justin Steele went down for the year. And he's been reliable.
He has. He's thrown some good innings.
Ground ball hit to short, fielded on a high hop by Swanson. He jogs to the second base bag for the force, and that is out number 3. Middle 4, Cubs 2, Pirates 2 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of. To punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Be in the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. We think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors today, but also about how do we bring new collectors into the space as well. It's really what we do it all for.
And you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
You deserve a car that thrills you. And Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
League leaders are sponsored by American Sail, bringing the fun home. Leading the league in home runs, Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge with 26, and RBIs, it's Pete Alonso with 63, and O'Neill Cruz of the Pirates among the leaders with 25 stolen bases. Zach?
Mitch Keller deals, and his first pitch to Nico Horner is low for ball 1 to begin the bottom of the 4th inning, Matt. Cubs and Pirates tied at 2. The next pitch by Keller is pulled on the ground, fielded on one hop to his left, belt high by Hayes. Sidearm toss across in time to get Horner. 1 away here in the last of the 4th. Matt, it says here that you and our good friend Lawrence Holmes will be talking Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app.
I can confirm.
Yep. Unless we steal him, and he comes over here to sub in once in a while, which we greatly appreciate, Speaks.
Super fun to be here. Thank you, man. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yeah. There are worse places to spend Father's Day than here, that's for sure. And I think there's 40,000 people that would agree, and maybe 45 or 50 with all the people in the neighborhood.
Justin Turner hits a high fly ball down the right field line, fair territory. Canario makes the catch on the side track. Nowhere near the wall, but close enough where you had to start bracing yourself a little bit, so 2 away.
Yeah, this is one of those days here at Wrigley. We had a beautiful day, mid-70s. Sunny at times, but a little hazy sky. But the ballpark, standing room only. The rooftops are full everywhere you see. Driving in this morning early, the neighborhood was packed.
Reese McGuire hits a pop fly down the left field line. Frazier racing over, but this one's in the stands for a foul ball, 0-1.
Now all we need is a W. Raise the W flag after the ball game, and life will be complete here on Father's Day for a Wrigley Field experience.
If you're coming to Wrigley Field, the goal is to hear the song at the end of the game, right?
People love it. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Especially all the kids in attendance today with their dads. It's one of those special Sundays on the baseball calendar.
Yeah, you start looking around. The standing room only crowd is incredible. Everywhere you look, there's people. Look at down the left field line, a little bridge area going into the bleachers. Absolutely packed. Got to be 4 or 5 deep.
The 0-1 is outside, a curveball that misses. So 1-1 now on McGuire. There's baseball, Coom, and then there's baseball here at Wrigley Field.
Been coming here a long time, and this is a special place.
McGuire fouls it away off to the left, out of play. 1-2.
I think my first game I came here with my dad, I think I was 4 years old. Yeah.
How much do you remember from that game?
I remember the reason why I really remember is my grandfather was with us, his dad, and he got clunked in the head with one of the hot dog carts, and he was mad.
Swing and a miss by McGuire, strike 3. Cubs go down in order in the 4th. I think we may need to hear a little bit more of this story in the 5th. Matt Spiegel will join.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling. Once the lights are on and the anthem takes place and you're standing there on the line, it'll sink in as to what this moment really means, because I do think it's a meaningful day.
Cubs hefty, ultra-strong trash bags resist rips, tears, and leaks. Strength that's anything but ordinary.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
We are coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Got a 2-2 ball game in the top of the 5th between the Cubs and the Pirates. 3 hits apiece for each team. Colin Ray facing the catcher Brett Sullivan. And the first pitch is fouled back. 0-1 the count. Ron Coomer, I think I can speak for the whole booth. We're all recovering from the image of your grandfather getting hit in the head by a hot dog cart at your first game ever here at Wrigley Field. Must have left a mark.
Well, it wasn't a terrible, it wasn't like it knocked him out or anything.
Brett Sullivan with a deep drive to right. Seiya Suzuki goes back. He's at the track with some room right there where the wall bends, and thankfully that was enough room for Seiya to record the first out of the inning.
3 feet towards straight right field, that's a home run and ends up in the bleachers. Because this ball keeps hooking, it goes into the well area, and Seiya catches this right at the bend of the wall for the first out of the inning. Sullivan, rounding first base, grabs his helmet and can't believe that ball stayed in the ballpark.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa takes the first pitch low for a ball. An unlikely power source, but on a day like this at Wrigley, everybody's got a shot, and that one almost left the yard. Did not, though. 1-0 to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. That one is taken for a strike. Count now even at 1.
Yeah, that's the only reason I really, when you're 4, you don't remember a lot of what, but I remember that because my dad always told me about that as we were growing up. Pretty funny.
It's outstanding.
Our experiences got continually better, I'll say that, at Wrigley, and they continue to.
1-1 is a fastball at 95 miles an hour on the edge. 1-2. The count. So that was the low point of your Wrigley experiences.
Yeah.
1-2 is swung on and fouled off the ankle of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 2-2 game, one away, top 5.
And that wasn't terrible for me because I got a hot dog out of the deal. So, seriously, I was a happy camper.
From the same guy with the cart?
Same guy, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's why he was there.
The 1-2 is fouled into the dirt again. All right, so now I'm getting the full picture. You got the hot dog, and on the way away from you guys is when Grandpa got it in the back of the head.
Yeah, he was not real happy, but it wasn't terrible. But it was one of those things that my dad continued. Yeah, I just always heard about it.
1-2 is a fastball swung through by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Colin Ray with a strikeout for the second out here in the 5th.
Yeah. Great job holding on to that ball by McGuire. It's one of those things you can't ever practice, but it just sticks in the webbing of the glove to get that punch out.
Reese McGuire's done a nice job since getting called up, hasn't he?
Absolutely. He's subbed in very well.
O'Neill Cruz, the leadoff hitter for the Pirates, takes the ball. 1-0 the count.
He's done a good job behind the dish. He's done a very good job throwing the ball. And then he's added some offense. He's gotten his hits. He's walked today. He's hit some home runs. So he has showed himself very well after getting called up from Iowa.
His debut on a Sunday morning, called up and then inserted immediately into the starting lineup and homered twice. Cruz hammers that ball to center. Pete Crow Armstrong goes back and glides to the warning track and makes a catch up against the ivy, a step or two from the wall. My goodness, he makes it look easy and smooth out there as the side is retired. The first out was brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is...
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Hefty, ultra strong trash bags resist rips, tears, and leaks. Strength that's anything but ordinary.
Hefty.
It'll be John Birdie for the Cubs, and then the top of the order against Mitch Keller, bottom of the fifth, in a 2-2 ball game as Keller gets ready to fire and throws that one high for a ball. Boy, Ron Coomer, Pete Crow Armstrong just is so smooth to watch out there in center, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. If you want to hit in center field and you're hitting it high and deep, you better hit it to the seats.
1-0 to Birdie's fouled back.
Because if not, he's catching it. He's just one of those guys that he's learned also, every ballpark has its nuances. And Wrigley Field, the ivy is beautiful and it's scenic and all that. There's also brick right behind it.
The 1-1 to Birdie is fouled back.
So for the outfielders to go at a dead sprint as fast as he can run back there, you got to watch running. You're not just going to run into the ivy on top of it, tear up your arms and everything else, but the brick behind it is not going to be, cushion. And Pete just does a tremendous job of getting back there as quick as he can, and then able to glide to the ball where he's going to catch it. Great job by Pete Crow Armstrong to make a catch in center.
Count is even at 2 after a ball outside, and the 2-2 is fouled away. And this crowd has a relationship with Pete where they know he's kind of a marvel. You heard their energy start to rise as the ball went back, and then they stayed loud as the team ran off the field in appreciation of that catch.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of things right. There's no doubt about it. And the way he plays the game, we were talking about him running balls out and making close plays at first on routine ground balls, that it's a bang-bang play. Those things, everybody sees that in the ballpark. It's a great way to play the game.
Quite a love affair blooming between the Cubs fans and Pete Crow Armstrong. Full count pitch to John Birdie is swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout to lead off the bottom of the fifth. Ian Happ will step to the plate.
Good breaking ball by Keller, and you and I were talking about this in the pregame show about Keller. I said this guy is, don't get confused by his record. This guy can pitch, and his record is not good. He has given the Pirates a chance to win almost every time he has taken the mound this year and gone deep into the ballgame.
Ian Happ hits that first pitch high into the air in a shallow left. Coming in is Frazier. Settles under it and makes the catch. Yeah, he's received the worst run support in the entire league at 2.08 runs while he's in the game. Lost 9 games in a row after winning the first, but it hasn't been his fault for the most part. He's one of 3 long-term extensions that have been signed for this team. He, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Brian Reynolds are the only 3 veterans who've signed extensions for this whole team. Here's PCA, who hits the first pitch high, foul, and behind the plate and out of play.
It'll be interesting as we get closer to the trade deadline what the Pirates decide to do and who they look to move. I would think if you're a contending team and you're looking for starting pitching, this guy would be one of those guys you would definitely look towards. I just don't know if the Pirates are going to make him available or not.
The 0-1 to PCA is taken low and inside. Can't be too much fun to be a Pirates fan.
Yeah, right now they're scuffling. They're trying to, rebuild and come back, and it's one of those things. But they've got some good pieces. There's no doubt about it.
The 1-1 coming to PCA is hit in the air on a line and a right to the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez, who fields it for the final out. On Sunday, June 22nd, the Cubs take on the Mariners at 1:20 p.m. up to the first 10,000 early arriving.
Future You is using their rapid rewards for their next vacation. All thanks to Present You signing up with Southwest Airlines, where you earn points every time you fly. Because what's the point of points that Future You can't use? And since your Rapid Rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward Future You with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
James Hardy Building Products knows how important your home is. That's why they're rated the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardy is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Brian Reynolds leads off the top half of the 6th inning by lining one foul out of play off to the left. Off of Colin Ray, the Cubs right-hander. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates. Each team scored twice in the first. Just a gorgeous afternoon here at Wrigley Field. Temperature in the 70s, wind blowing in, partly cloudy. The pitch pulled on the ground, foul off to the right. 0-2 the count on Reynolds. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He's the designated hitter today after playing right field in the first 3 games of this series. Reynolds is 0 for 2 today. Hitting at .224 on the year. Ray a long set and pitch. Pop foul out of play off to the left. 0-2. This day in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. On this date, June 15, 1938, as Reynolds swings and misses at a cutter. Awkward swing and miss. Strike 3. One away. The first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. 2-2 game with 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning between the Cubs and Pirates. So on this date, June 15, 1938, Reds pitcher Johnny Vandermeer threw his 2nd consecutive no-hitter. Nick Gonzalez swings at the first pitch from Ray and fouls it back off the screen. The Reds beat the Dodgers 6-0 in Brooklyn. It was the first night game ever played at Ebbets Field, and Johnny Vandermeer threw his 2nd consecutive no-hitter. It just boggles the mind. Here's the 0-1. Tap foul behind the plate by Gonzalez in the hole 0-2.
I can promise you this, that record will never be beaten. Could get tied, maybe.
Yeah,
there's nobody going to throw 3 no-hitters in a row.
That will be one whopping story if it ever happens. I agree with you, Coom. 0-2 the count. Now time called by Gonzalez. Steps out of the box.
I'm not far out on a limb on that one.
Well, when we talk about all these records in baseball that'll never be broken, that rarely comes up. But you're right. We're ready for the resumption of play. Here's the 0-2. Inside. Ray misses with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Gonzalez, the number 3 hitter in the Pirates order today. He's 1 for 2, singled in the first. The pitch. A tapper past Ray, fielded by Horner. Running throw in front of the second base bag to first in time to get Gonzalez, and 2 quickly away here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Good job by Ray. Obviously counts starting this inning. He got Caleb Thielbar up just in case in a tie ball game, but Colin doing a good job of getting through this 6th inning.
The Pirates cleanup man Spencer Horwitz at the plate. 1 for 2 today with an RBI single in that 2-run first for Pittsburgh. Game tied at 2 here in the top of the 6th. The pitch is a fastball for a strike. 0-1. All opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. The pitch inside to Horwitz. Sloan is a leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. I should say that last pitch was a called strike on the inside corner. So 0-2 the count. And now Ray is ready. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ray straightens up. He works his motion and deals. Horwitz looks at a ball up high, count even at 2-2. Peggy Gilmore from Sloan threw out one of the ceremonial first pitches today.
She did. She did a great job. Peggy One of the great people from Sloan that hangs around in the ballpark a lot for their company. Great person, great company. Sloan people, some very nice people. Is that line drive base hit in left center. Nice play by Pete to cut this ball off to keep Horowitz to a single.
Yeah, one hop in left center, and then he whirled and threw it back to the infield. He's everywhere. Pete Crow Armstrong. So 2 away, man at first in Horowitz. He represents the go-ahead run for Pittsburgh. And Alexander Canario will dig in. 0 for 1 with a walk and an RBI. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates here in the 6th. A finale of a 4-game set.
And here's where, for Ray, you just got to keep this ball in the ballpark. Canario only hitting .211, but he's got big-time pop in his bat.
And the pitch. Low and outside, missed with a cutter. 1-0. Canario with 3 home runs this season. The pitch. A dribbler left of the mound, fielded by Ray. His toss to first in time. And Ray does indeed keep Canario in the yard. Horowitz stranded on the bases, middle 6. Tie game. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs radio.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Who's on Deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com and Seiya Suzuki is who's on deck, Zach.
He's at the plate right now and looks at a strike on the outside corner. Matt, a slider from Mitch Keller to begin the last of the 6th inning. Cubs 2, Pirates 2, the finale of a 4-game set. As Keller works his motion and deals, Suzuki waves at a slider off the outside. 0-2 the count. Seiya drove in a run via a ground out in the first. Cubs scored twice in the first to tie it up after Pittsburgh scored twice in the first. The pitch. And a high fly ball hit to deep left center field. Frazier and Cruz both go back. This one is going to be caught on the track by Cruz as the wind knocks it down just to the left of the 368 marker. 1 away.
Ball hit hard, but also hit very high. And what wind there is today is blowing in from center field. We've seen it, a couple times today. You can hit a ball out of the ballpark, no doubt, but you got to hit it. And that ball hit by Seiya, I think he caught that ball just off the end of the bat, enough to keep it in the ballpark right at the 368 marker.
So Michael Busch will stand in with 1 away. The pitch fouls it away. Second deck off to the left, 0-1. Busch is 2 for 2 this afternoon. A double and a run scored in the first, a single in the third. And the pitch. High and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs right in the meat of their order, presented by Chef IQ Sense. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com. Bush waits for the 1-1. Here it comes. That's a called strike. Slider over. Bush doesn't like the call. Turns around, has a brief conversation with the home plate umpire, Phil Cuzzy. The count is 1-2. Dansby Swanson on deck for the Cubs as Keller whirls and deals. Bush hits a high fly ball, playable. It's a left routine, angling toward the line. Frazier makes the catch, 2 away.
Well, after the first inning, both teams scored a pair of runs, and you wondered what this game was going to be like. Well, both of these guys have really settled into the ball game and have made their pitches, and have, so far, Ray has gotten through 6 innings, only given up to 2, and Colin Ray now 5 2/3, and hopefully Dansby will change that here, but both guys have done their job as this game has progressed.
Swanson looks at a strike on the outside corner, a sinking fastball from Keller, 0-1. It was in the 6th inning of yesterday's ball game that Swanson broke a tie with a home run as he looks at a ball outside. 1-1 the count now on Swanson. Every game in this series has been a low-scoring 1-run game. Keller delivers the 1-1. Swanson fouls it out of play. Second deck off to the right. 1-2.
Keller made a mistake there. He threw that two-seam fastball inside and down to Dansby, but in the zone. That one about mid-thigh, and Dansby put a big swing on it and fouled it off. That is not where Keller wants to pitch Swanson. That's a ball that can end up in the bleachers.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Swanson fouls it off the netting to the right. So they'll do it again. Keller faces home plate, acknowledges the sign from his catcher Sullivan, works his motion and deals. Swanson, it's a high fly ball deep right. Canario going back in the well. He makes the catch, angling toward the foul line. Right in the indentation of the wall for out number 3. Cubs go down in order here in the 6th inning. Still tied. Cubs and Pirates.
A better way to bank at wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Advanced Hair Restoration, Chicago's simple one-day hair loss solution that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. AdvancedHair.com.
Top of the 7th here at Wrigley Field. It's a 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates, the final game of a 4-game set between these two. Cubs have a new man on the mound. Veteran left-hander Caleb Thielbar takes over for the starter Colin Ray. A quality start from Ray. Went 6 innings, giving up just 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Adam Frazier at the plate to lead off the 7th for the Pirates, a lefty batter, and the pitch is a called strike. A slider, 0-1. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates. Frazier 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Thielbar works on the third base side of the rubber. Here's the kick and pitch. Foul back by Frazier in the hole 0-2.
And pitch by Thielbar. What's on tap here? Sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And what's on tap is Caleb's got to throw up a goose egg, and the Cubs got to get their hitting shoes on. Finish out this ball game with a W.
Here's the 0-2. Frazier fists it foul. Out of play upstairs. Count remains 0-2. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Thielbar works his motion and deals. Fouled away again. Second deck off to the left by Frazier. Count remains 0-2. Thielbar in the Cubs bullpen, so reliable this season. Remember early on in the year there was some worry as to how the roles would be established. Here's the 0-2. Slow moving Tapper on the right side, fielded behind the bag by Bush. He races to first, and he beats Frazier for the out. One away. The first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Yeah, that gets figured out quick when your ERA halfway through the season is under a 2. You get the ball in the big spots. That's just the way it is, and that's been Caleb. His Cubs signed a veteran left-hander, and he's had a great career. He pitched excellent baseball for the Minnesota Twins for years, and now he's doing a great job here at Wrigley Field. 1.82 ERA in 30 appearances.
Yeah, that'll play. Brian Hayes at the plate looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
We had a lot of celebrities in our booth, boy, here lately. Peggy Gilmore from Sloan, Johnny from Sheridan Hotel, one of our favorite people here in Chicago. Takes care of us during the Cubs convention, and his son here. So what a Father's Day that is. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're doing pretty good. Peggy threw strike. She threw the first pitch of the ball game today for Sloan. There's Sloan people doing a big campaign to try to wipe out ALS. We get all kinds of stuff here in our booth. We're wearing shirts to help that cause today, and we'll be throwing out a bunch of stuff here in just a couple minutes here at the seventh inning stretch.
Brian Hayes looks at a fastball for strike 1-2. That's a cause that is special to Boog Shambi on the television side. Ground ball hit to third. Backhanded by Birdie. Long throw across in time to get Hayes 2 away. That was anything but routine along the line and behind the bag by Birdie.
The only way you make that play is by working a lot early in the day, day after day when you're not playing by Birdie. You know, if you're a utility guy and you're not playing every day, you know, it's just difficult. And we see Birdie every day going out there and working at it offensively, defensively. He just makes a nice play down the line to help the Cubs get a second out of this inning.
The Pirates have announced a pinch hitter. Henry Davis will bat for Brett Sullivan, so there's a meeting on the mound with Cubs pitching coach Tommy Hotovy, Thielbar, and the catcher McGuire, and that's just a scouting report on the right-handed hitting Davis. That gives us an opportunity to remind you that Quality Starts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Start your next project with quality paints from Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs. I talked about the outing by Colin Ray today. 6 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. His ERA now at 3.84. You know, when the season started, he was supposed to be a bullpen piece, and he's been an ultra-reliable starter. The pitch to Davis is outside, 1-0, a fastball that missed. Davis hits out of a crouch, uses a slight toe tap. He waits for the 1-0. Here it comes. A breaking ball outside. 2-0 the count now on Davis.
Got to make quality pitch here. Davis, big, strong guy. The last thing you want to do is make a mistake and let him leave the yard and give the Pirates the lead.
The pitch. Check swing and a pitch off the outside. On appeal, no swing, says the first base umpire, Tony Randazzo. So it's now a 3-0 count. The number 9 hitter, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, on deck. Cubs 2, Pirates 2, with 2 away here in the top of the 7th. And the 3-0. In the dirt, ball 4. And Davis will head to first with a 2-out walk.
Thielbar, how about that on a 3-0 pitch? He was not interested at all in laying one in there to Davis and letting him give the Pirates the lead. He threw a breaking ball on 3-0. That'll tell you kind of just what we were talking on. He was not interested in, having him do some big damage. So now you get the 9-hole hitter coming up.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa throw to first, getting back standing up Davis. Kiner-Falefa is 0 for 2 today, hitting at 286 on the year, 1 home run, 15 RBIs. Davis being held on at first by Bush. Thielbar delivers. Kiner-Falefa whacks it foul out of play off to the right, 0-1. The hardest working player of the game is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. What are you thinking?
You got to go with Colin Ray, don't you? He has been outstanding for the Cubs today.
Fouled away off the netting to the right above the Pirates dugout along the first base line by Kiner-Falefa, 0-2. I'd have to agree.
Yeah. Once again, we've been talking about him here the last inning, but Colin gave the Cubs another great chance to win a ball game. He's not going to get a W today, but he threw a great game.
That last pitch, high and outside, a fastball that missed, 1-2 on Kiner-Falefa. Cubs playing Kiner-Falefa to pull on the infield. Horner, the second baseman, up the middle, just to the right of the bag. Big hole on the right side of the infield. The runner goes. Here's the pitch. Pulled, foul off the netting to the left by Kiner-Falefa. Out in front of a curveball, 1-2. For the 7th inning stretch this afternoon, there will be a special ALS compilation video. Thielbar delivers. Little pop-up on the edge of the outfield grass in center, caught by the second baseman Horner for out number 3. And it's time to stretch at Wrigley Field. The 7th inning stretch is sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates.
ALS fighters, family members, and caretakers lead us with Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for his root for the Tawnies.
If they don't win, it's a shame.
'Cause it's 1,
2,
3 strikes, you're out at the horn.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
From the warehouse to the work site.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
I was in AAA, and right before the game, they said, no, you gotta stop. You need to hurry up and go to Cincinnati. You're about to go play a game there. You got 45 minutes till the game starts. So I get in my car and I start driving, and all I keep thinking about is, which jersey are they wearing that night? So when I get to the locker room, I see my jersey hung up, and love the white jerseys, just the stitching on it, the old school feel to it.
So. Hefty.
Bottom of the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. The last game of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pittsburgh. Nico Horner leading things off. Game tied at 2. New man on the mound for Pittsburgh. Right-hander Isaac Mattson. And the first pitch popped up foul territory off to the right in front of the Pirates dugout, leaning over the railing. It's the first baseman Horwitz who makes the catch. Horner is retired. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 7th.
Nice play by Horowitz. He can get a lot of help from his bench. Gene Lamont, one of the great baseball guys in our game that is on the bench now with Pittsburgh. Gino just got out of the way.
Well, I can't blame him.
No, I'm with you there. Yeah.
Justin Turner at the plate. He looks at a ball up high, 1-0. Turner, the Cubs' designated hitter.
You want to have good baseball conversations. Gene Lamont, one of the great ones to do that. He's an outstanding baseball guy, longtime manager. Many times I sat as that pitch in for a strike. Sat on the Tigers bench way early, like after the early work before batting practice with him and Jim Leland. And all you do is you sit and listen. And that was outstanding. Big fan of Gene Lamont and also Jimmy Leland for that matter. But great baseball guy.
Really cool. Turner fouls that one away. 1-2 the count. Designated hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle. Turner open stance upright, little bend at the knees. The pitch popped up. On the infield dirt right side, it's Horowitz, who gives way now to the second baseman Gonzalez, who makes the catch behind him for out number 2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
All the Cubs talk you can handle on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago on Odyssey Sports Station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Reese McGuire at the plate, and he looks at a strike from Matson, the right-hander, 0-1. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 here with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. Every game in this series has been a nail-biter. And the 0-1. A big swing and a miss by McGuire at a fastball 0-2.
Matson into the game, a good arm. We talked about it, this Pirates club. And Craig Counsell talked about it right away as this series began. He said their bullpen, their numbers aren't all that great, but lately they've been very good. Yeah, and Phil Cuzzy stopping the action. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if McGuire had called timeout before Matson delivered. I'm guessing that's what was the case. Pitchers really like when you do that.
I think you're being facetious.
Yeah.
I think the catcher hitting knows that the pitcher didn't like that. Now we're ready. Here's the 0-2. Up high and tight. 1-2. McGuire's
fastball away to up and in. I'm just saying.
There you go. McGuire using a powder blue bat on this Father's Day. He swings and fouls it back off the netting, 1-2.
Matson with a little quick pitch there. Instead of coming set kind of like he normally does and hold the ball, he kind of bounced and went. And quick pitched. McGuire, and he did a good job of just fouling that ball off.
So that makes the hitter mad. Here's the pitch. Pop fly, shallow left center field. Ranging over Frazier, and he makes the catch, backing up just a little bit as the Cubs go down in order here in the 7th. We head to the 8th. What do you know? Still tied. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road.
Genesis Cabrera takes over for the Cubs. Speaks thank you. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 as we begin the top half of the 8th inning here at Wrigley Field. Colin Ray started, went the first 6 innings, a quality start, giving up just 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts through 81 pitches, 57 for strikes. Mitch Keller was just as good. He went 6 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits for Pittsburgh. And it's the bullpens the rest of the way. The top of the Pirates order to lead off the 8th inning. O'Neill Cruz to be followed by Brian Reynolds and Nick Gonzalez. Cabrera kicks and delivers. And the first pitch to Cruz is low. Missed with a curveball, 1-0. Stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot coming up with the Coom Dog in the 9th inning. 2-2 game. Cabrera deals. Cruz looks at a pitch inside. Curveball that missed, 2-0. Cruz is 1 for 3. Single to lead off the game. And a couple of flyouts. The 2-0 is low and outside. 3-0 now on Cruz. And he's got excellent speed if he gets on base for Pittsburgh. Each team scored twice in the first inning. Cruz an upright stance. It's open from the left side. The pitch is low for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk by Cruz to begin the top half of the 8th inning. And now Brian Reynolds will hit for Pittsburgh. Switch hitting designated hitter today. He's 0 for 3 and will bat from the right side here against the left-hander Genesis Cabrera. Right-hander Ryan Brazier has already started warming up in the Cubs bullpen. The pitch. Reynolds rips one to center, drifting back. Crow Armstrong makes the catch over his shoulder with his back facing home plate for out number 1. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. So 1 down, Cruz at first. It'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. Cubs and Pirates tied at 2 here in the top of the 8th. Gonzalez 1 for 3, singled in the first, flat out in the third, grounded out in the 6th. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch. A long set with Cruz at first, and Cabrera deals. Fastball on the inside edge, clocked at 95 mph, 0-1. Cabrera works on the extreme third base side of the rubber. Cruz being held on at first by Bush, but he extends his lead off the bag. And the pitch. A ground ball hit to third, fielded by Birdie to second for 1. Horner to first. It is in time. Double play. 5-4-3. And that ends the top half of the 8th inning. Waiting to see if the Pirates elect to challenge this. They will not. Middle 8. Cubs 2, Pirates 2 on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Nico Horner here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Boomer is the dog. Then he looked good. I just followed his picture all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
You know, a little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. 3 finals around the game already, Zach. Tigers lose to the Reds 8-4. Orioles over the Angels 11-2. And the Red Sox at Fenway beat the Yankees by the score of 2-0.
Matt, thanks. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates. The batter, John Birdie. Isaac Matson deals. Birdie hits a line drive caught on one knee at short by Connor Falefa. 1 away.
See, that's when you're just frustrated. When you're a utility guy, and you come in and then you scorch one here in the 8th inning and it goes right to the shortstop. That's when you go, this game's just not right. It's just not right.
Sometimes it's not fair. That 5-4-3 double play, the Cubs turned to end the top half of the 8th inning. As a reminder, the double plays turned by the Cubs defense, sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com as Ian Happ looks at a fastball for a strike, 0-1.
And this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates, 1 down. Last of the 8th. Happ waits. The 0-1. Low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. See how we did with our guesses in the Vinny's Beverage Depot attendance game. The actual attendance this afternoon, 40,162. Turns out I was a little bit closer than the rest of you as Happ swings and misses. No, he tapped it foul at the plate, 1-2. Henry Davis stays in the game. He's behind the plate as the catcher. Pinch hit for Sullivan. Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. The pitch, dribbled foul off to the right. 1-2. Out in front of a changeup. A reminder to stay tuned for the Verizon Cubs radio post-game show featuring Matt Spiegel. I want to thank Matt for his terrific work this weekend, chipping in pre-game show, post-game shows, 5th inning. His affable personality, all that kind of stuff. Here comes the 1-2. That's low to Happ. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And did we hear right? Are you going to be singing the national anthem later this week here at the Friendly Conference?
On Wednesday, Zach Zabin.
Wednesday.
Unbelievable. I'm thrilled, nervous, excited. Let's go.
Those are all good things.
The 2-2 outside. Happ's drawn a full count, 3-2.
Somewhere between Marvin Gaye and Roseanne Barr is where I hope to end up.
I think all of us are kind of rooting for that as well.
Yeah, we're leaning towards the Marvin Gaye.
And a high pop fly. Shallow along the right field line. Canario fighting the sun, and he makes a sliding catch in fair territory along the sidetrack. Lost it and then found it 2 away.
You cannot take anything for granted in the outfield on a high fly ball, a little windy, but the sun very difficult in right field. And Canario, who probably, because he has been here just enough to understand that, stayed with that play. You got to really tip your hat to him, because that was not an easy play as he dives along the warning track along the sidewall in fair territory to make the catch.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate, and he hits a high fly ball right center field. Cruz under it and makes the catch for out number 3 as the Cubs go down in order in the 8th. We head to the 9th. 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Join us for some Cubs talk every morning. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on the...
Here at Wrigley Field, another nail-biter. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. It's the finale of this 4-game set. Ryan Presley now the man on the mound for the Cubs here in this 9th inning. The Pirates cleanup man, left-handed hitting Spencer Horwitz at the plate. The right-hander Presley works on the first base side of the rubber, and the pitch. A tap foul at the plate, 0-1. Presley has been unbelievable lately. He's not surrendered and earned run in 15 straight outings. The pitch. Outside, 1-1. What's been the key to his success?
First of all, I think health, right? He had some knee issues, and, you know, the thing I always love about some guys that play in our game is they never make excuses.
Horowitz fouls it away out of play, off to the left.
You know, he was scuffling and, you know, pitching in a little bit of bad luck too, but, you know, things weren't going his way at the start of the season. He had a bad knee, got his knee drained, but never one time did you hear him, I'm not doing this, not feeling great. Never. Just keep pitching, keep playing. And, you know, you tip your cap to guys like that. They keep taking the baseball, they keep competing, and now all of a sudden he's the pitcher that the Cubs were hoping they had. He's healthy, and, you know, velocity is back up where it was in mid-90s, and just doing his job. And, you know, you can't have enough guys like Presley.
That last pitch, a curveball low and inside. So the count is 2-2 on Horowitz. Presley sets up high. And here comes the pitch. That's low, full count. The ninth inning is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates. Presley's ready. Here comes the payoff pitch to Horowitz. Swing and a miss. Strike three. One away. Got him with the slider.
Excellent pitch. Good breaking ball after a couple good heaters. In this one, he gets good downward tilt on this and gets the swing right over the top for strike three.
So one away. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. The batter, Alexander Canario. 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. The pitch. Tap foul at the plate. 0-1. A sinking fastball from Presley. This Father's Day, join Major League Baseball in the fight against prostate cancer by learning about prostate health and ways you can support. MLBtogether.com/Father's Day to learn more. As Canario looks at strike two, a slider that spins into the zone.
Another good breaking ball, outer third, right at the knees, bottom of the zone.
Presley's ready, works his motion. The pitch, fouled away, out of play. Second deck off to the right by Canario. Count remains 0-2. Wind blowing in. Partly cloudy day here at Wrigley Field. Temperature in the 70s. Here's the 0-2. Low and inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Canario with 3 home runs this season, hitting at .209. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. As Presley gets Canario with a heater, 2 away.
Well, good sequence of pitches. This is the old, you know, change the eye levels. You go down with some breaking balls, up with the fastball, down, then back up with gas. And he gets the punch out with the 94-mile-an-hour heater at the top of the zone.
So 2 down, and the batter is the left-handed hitting Adam Frazier against the right-hander Presley. We're in the 9th, 2-2 game. The pitch is a called strike. Slider, 0-1. Frazier's 0 for 3 this afternoon. Presley sets up high and deals. Pulled on the ground. Oh, a one-handed sliding grab by Bush. Underhand toss to Presley, covering the bag in time for out number 3. What a nifty defensive play by Bush along the line behind the bag. Pirates go down in order here in the top of the 9th, but hold on one second.
They're going to review this
they want a challenge.
Yes, I think they're going to ask. I think Phil Cuzzy is going to be asked whether or not they can. This play is reviewable or not. Dan Bellino, I believe, coming in also to talk. And this is one of those plays where they're going to challenge whether the ball was fair or foul, I believe. And now they're gonna huddle up and have an umpire decision on what I believe what is or is not reviewable would be my guess. This is a tough one because the hitter Gonzalez thought it was foul. We're getting another shot, and you know what? I don't know if it caught any of the line, but
after a crew consultation, excuse me, it is a foul ball.
Yeah, there you go. I did not think the ball hit the chalk, but it was close, and now it's not going to be. I don't know how you can. A crew consultation. Is this a courtroom or what do we got going here? I'm not quite sure. Greg Counsell is going to get the idea of what they were saying, and what's going to happen is I guarantee you Phil Cuzzi, the home plate umpire, helped out the first base umpire, Tony Randazzo, because Tony was fending for his life trying to get out of the way, called it fair. Phil Cuzzi would be the next guy in line to see that play as the home plate umpire. Phil had it foul, I'm sure, the whole way.
The reason that Craig Counsell's not happy right now and continuing his discussion with both Phil Cuzzi and the crew chief, Dan Bellino, is you are not allowed to review fair or foul balls in the infield. You can in the outfield, can't do it in the infield. So the Pirates couldn't challenge, which is why they asked for the crew review to make sure.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Counts isn't happy, but what he's saying is that's why we got the review system in place. And Phil's letting Counts state his case because Counts does have a point. But at the end of the day, what I'm sure these two guys, Randazzo and Cuzzi, are saying, this is not review. It is let's get the call right of what we saw on the field, and that's what they're going with.
There's a hot smash behind the first base bag, and Bush made a nifty sliding grab on one knee along the line, but it doesn't count. So the count now is 0-2 with 2 away here in the top of the ninth. Cubs 2, Pirates 2, and Frazier at the plate. The pitch. Pop fly. Deep left center, but playable. Hap short of the track, makes the catch, ranging to his left for out number 3. And a big sigh of relief in the Cubs dugout as the Pirates end up going down in order in the top of the ninth. Do the Cubs have a walk-off in them as we head to the last of the ninth? 2-2 game, Cubs and Pittsburgh on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
American Sail has the largest selection of pools, patio sets, hot tubs, and grills. And right now, during the summer celebration sale, you can save up to 50%. American Sail. Bring the fun home.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. So here we go, bottom of the ninth. Dennis Santana on the mound for Pittsburgh. Seiya Suzuki at the plate. Game tied at 2. First pitch, low and outside for ball 1. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. The 1-0. Seiya looks at a ball up high. It's now 2-0. Each team scored 2 runs in the first inning. And it's been that way ever since. 2-2 game. The 2-0. Suzuki swings, and it's a high fly ball, medium range, right center field, and making a running catch about belt high is O'Neill Cruz for out number 1 as Suzuki is retired.
Now Cubs need a big swing here in the ninth. This is a pretty good matchup for the Cubs. Bushy with a couple hits. He doubled and scored in that first inning with a ground rule double down the left field line. This would be a good time for a 3-for-4 with a RBI in the ninth, driving himself in.
The pitch to Bush, a big swing and a miss. He was thinking just like you.
He was thinking Sheffield Avenue is what he was thinking.
He's trying to end it with one swing. Wind blowing in. 0-1 the count. Bush waits. Santana deals. Another swing and miss. A violent cut at a slider, 0-2.
Wish he got a pitch to hit. That's a breaking ball in the middle of the plate. But a good one at 89 miles an hour. Not an easy pitch to hit, but the location was in the middle.
Santana on the year, a 1.78 ERA. This is appearance number 31 for him. Bush waits. The 0-2 is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Laid off the cutter.
Just that take alone, by seeing it, not really even offering at that breaking ball, Bushy is getting a good look at Santana's pitches.
Bush with 11 home runs this season. He waits. The pitch. Bush takes ball 2 low. That was a breaking ball.
This place will erupt, all 40,000 of it, if Bush tags one and hits one in the seats.
Now the 2-2. Santana to Bush. Low, ball 3.
5 straight breaking balls in a row to Michael Bush. Couple in the zone, few out of the zone. He needs a hanging breaking ball here in the middle of the plate.
Santana sets up high. Crowd making noise. The 3-2. Bush pulls one down the right field line, and it hooks foul out of play. Medium range. It did not have home run distance. He turned on that slider.
Yeah, a slider from Santana inside. Michael covers it, but the only way he could do is hook that ball foul.
3-2 the count. Now the pitch. A ground ball hit on the right side. Diving to his left, Gonzalez from one knee makes the throw to first in time to get a hustling Bush. 2 away.
Nice play by Gonzalez. Second or third play today that he has made good plays, and then a very nice pickup by Horowitz on the low throw at first base. So a good play defensively by Pittsburgh to get the second out.
So here's Dansby Swanson, 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates. Swanson is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch. Santana works his motion. Swanson grounds one through in a left center field, past a diving Kiner Falefa. The Cubs have the winning run on base with 2 away as Swanson singles to set up the drama here.
I was looking, this is a little cutter, is what it looks like, and Dansby stays right on it. It's a bullet past Kiner Falefa at short in his left center field. I was watching Cruz. He has a tendency at times to just kind of drift over and make a play, but then all of a sudden he saw Dansby running hard and he came in on the ball. I thought if he drifts at that ball, Dansby might have a chance to take second base. And this would be the time to take that risk. You got 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. If you can get to second base, you go ahead and give it a shot. Now I would think Dansby will try to steal second base if Santana is slow to the plate.
Nico Horner at the plate. Oscar Marine, the Pirates pitching coach, had a brief meeting on the mound with the right-handed reliever Santana. 2 away. The winning run, Swanson at first. 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates here in the bottom of the 9th. Horner waits. Santana sets the pitch. Low and outside. 1-0. And I'm looking at the Cubs on deck circle, and Kyle Tucker is swinging a bat. Justin Turner due to hit next. And it'll be Tucker for the Cubs. The pitch to Nico. Line drive, base hit in the right center field. Swanson around second, he's headed for third, and he'll stop there. Nico on his way to second base, gets there standing up as the Pirates were slow to bring the ball back to the infield.
Nico hits a bullet over the second baseman's head and splits the gap. Cruz plays very shallow in center, and I couldn't even get it out looking at where he's playing. He's playing too shallow. You've got to stop the ball from splitting the gap, but Canario really protects that play by playing deep and cuts that ball off. If it gets past them two, the Cubs win the ballgame. Canario with an excellent play to get the ball in to hold Dansby Swanson at third base, and now the Cubs are not going to pinch hit.
Yeah, Craig Counsell has called Tucker back to the dugout.
Mainly because there's a base open. They would just basically walk Kyle Tucker and you would burn him as a hitter. So he's going to give Turner a chance to dump one in the right and win a ball game.
You've seen it before this season. Turner with a walk-off hit. Can he do it again? Cubs have men at second and third. 2 away. Bottom of the ninth. 2-2 game. Santana deals. Turner looks at a ball low and outside. Davis making a terrific play to backhand that cutter that was way out of the zone. Had to lunge for it on the other side of the plate.
That ball lands in the left-handed batter's box, and just a backhand catch. Not a block, but just a catch. Saved the ball game for Pittsburgh.
Swanson at third, Nico at second, Turner at the plate, 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Turner dribbles it foul off to the right, 1-1.
Now we've basically seen almost all sliders from Santana in this inning. If Turner could just let this ball get a little deep and just shoot this ball the other way, which we've seen him do a ton as a Dodger against the Cubs.
Now the 1-1. Turner pulls it on the ground, backhanded by Hayes. Long throw across is in time to get Turner. And we're going to extra innings as the Cubs strand 2 in scoring position to end the ninth. 2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates as we head to the 10th on the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans,
Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month or get $1,750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end July 7th. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Bonus baseball at Wrigley Field in this finale of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pirates. The 10th inning is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. Cubs have a new man on the mound. Veteran right-hander Chris Flexen takes over. He has been lights out for the Cubs, has not allowed an earned run in 17 1/3 innings this season, holding opponents to a 169 batting average. Key Brian Hayes at the plate. The ghost runner at second, Adam Frazier. Corner infielders are in. Flexen deals up high. McGuire had to jump out of his crouch to snag that one. Cutter that missed, 1-0. Hayes, a right-handed hitter. Flexen, a right-handed pitcher. Works on the first base side of the rubber. Looks at second. Pick-off play, throw to second. And Frazier gets back standing up. Nico slid in from behind.
That pickoff move there is a couple of reasons. One, mainly to see whether or not Hayes would show bunt if he's going to bunt.
Now Flexen is ready to pitch. Hayes shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike, 1-1.
Now, Cubs defense, they got the corners in. Michael Busch crashing hard from first. Hayes is going to try to bunt this ball at Birdie and make him come in from third base and field this bunt. Cubs would love to see it go right to Michael Busch.
The pitch is a breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike, 1-2.
Now Hayes showed bunt, then did not show bunt that last one. It's a breaking ball for a strike.
Busch and Birdie both back up at the corners. Flexen looks at second. That's where Frazier is. And the pitch. Fouled out of play off to the right by Hayes. Count remains 1-2. Top of the 10th. Cubs and Pirates are tied at 2. Each team scored its runs in the first inning. Flexen's ready. He deals. A breaking ball that is grounded deep in the hole at short. Backhanded by Swanson. His throw across in time to get Hayes. One away and staying at second, Frazier.
Breaking ball from Flexen, and he couldn't ask for anything better for the Cubs. You get an out on a ground ball on the pull side. It didn't look like Hayes is trying to go the other way at all to advance the runner, and that ends up being a ground ball to Dansby in the first out, and Frazier does not advance.
Here is Henry Davis, who entered the game as a pinch hitter and stayed on as the catcher. Right-handed batter. Frazier at second, one down, top 10, 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates. Flexen a long set, and he bluffs a throw to second base.
You got to watch now, because this is where right away early in this at bat, Frazier would possibly try to steal third base if he can get a big jump.
Wind blowing in at the moment at Wrigley. Here's the pitch by Flexen. Outside, ball one. Davis, a powerful right-handed batter, stands deep in the box. He's hit 4 home runs this year in 92 at-bats. The pitch inside, 2-0. That was a breaking ball that missed. Flexen puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, looks at second, kicks and delivers. Called strike on the outside corner. A cutter from Flexen. 2-1.
Cubs outfield not nearly as deep as they have been at times. They want to make sure they get a shot at throwing the runner out at the plate. Frazier.
Flexen deals, and Davis swings and misses. Strike 2, couldn't catch up to a fastball from Flexen.
Flexen has thrown some breaking balls, but that's just a good old-fashioned four-seam heater. Just threw that one right by him.
2-2 the count on Davis. Pickoff play at second, diving back in safely ahead of the tag by Horner. Frazier.
Now, the one thing in Nico doing this is really making sure that Frazier stays somewhat accountable to the second base bag and he doesn't get that walking lead. And that last one was a fairly close play at second.
One away, top 10. 2-2 the count. The pitch to Davis. Loop, shallow right, coming in Suzuki. He makes the catch, and Frazier has to stay at second base. 2 away.
That's why you play situational baseball and you move the runners along, because now that would have been a play at the plate to whether you take the lead or not. But when you don't advance the runner, now that's just a routine fly ball. Now you got 2 outs, and still your ghost runner is at second base.
Frazier is that runner at second. The batter, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, right-handed hitter. Flexen deals. Kiner-Falefa pulls one foul off the netting to the left, out in front of a curveball. 0-1. Dansby Swanson was talking about this after yesterday's ball game. All these close games against the Pirates. Ultimately, the Cubs need these games. You need to be able to navigate your way through these nail-biters and learn how to win them. 0-1 the count. Flexen deals. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flexen went with the fastball there.
Pete Crow Armstrong absolutely straight away in center, not very deep. Suzuki in right, shallow.
1-1 the count, 2 away, top 10, a man at second. The pitch to Kiner-Falefa. Grounded foul into the Cubs dugout along the third base line. 1-2. And the crowd begins to rise here at Wrigley Field, trying to help Flexen get out of this top half of the 10th inning unscathed. 1-2 the count. A long set, a look at second, and now the pitch. Fouled out of play, second deck off to the right by Kiner-Falefa.
Another good fastball by Flexen, up and away in the strike zone. but up and out over the plate. You might have him set up for a heater inside after some of these pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on Connor Falefa. Flexen deals. Low and outside. Hunter that missed, 2-2. Top 10, 2-2 game, 2 away. Pirates with a man at second in Frazier. 2-2 the count on the batter, Connor Falefa. Flexen is ready. And now the pitch. A line drive caught on a backhand along the edge of the center field grass by Nico Horner for out number 3. And Frazier stranded at second base. Can the Cubs walk it off in the last of the 10th? This is the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fan.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
It's a refreshing call. DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
2-2 game, Cubs and Pirates as we get set for the bottom half of the 10th inning. David Bednar, right-hander, now on the mound for Pittsburgh. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Now the ghost runner at second was supposed to be Justin Turner, but Craig Counsell sending out a pinch runner. Vidal Brujan will be the runner at second base to begin the bottom of the 10th inning. And Kyle Tucker has just been announced as the pinch hitter for Reese McGuire to lead off the last of the 10th. And just like that, the Pirates say we're not pitching to Tucker. An intentional walk, so Tucker heads to first. 2-2 game. Cubs and Pirates.
Yeah, so what Counts is doing, Counts called Birdie back to the dugout. When he sent Tuck up to home plate, he knew they were going to walk Tucker. So Tucker was not going to get a chance to beat the Pirates with one swing with a base open. But Counts knew that, and we all kind of know that. I mean, so he calls Birdie back to the dugout. Now, Birdie knows exactly what Counts wants him to do. Whether he's bunting, you hit and run, whatever that is, they have discussed this. And so we'll see exactly. I would guess Birdie will be bunting. And the other thing is you've got a very good defender at third base in Hayes. I don't know about Horwitz at first, whether he is a very good defender. That is the question, that you're not sure about.
Men at first and second, corner infielders are in. The pitch to Birdie. He pulls it foul on the ground off to the left.
That's what Counts was hoping. He got the situation he wanted. Birdie just hooked it foul. All the movement in the infield by every infielder, you swing the bat, you put it in play on the ground, it's going to end the game. Birdie just hooked it foul.
Brujan at second, Tucker at first. 2-2 game. 0-1 the count on Birdie. Corner infielders are crashing. Now a bluff throw to second base as Brujan dives back in.
Yeah, and that once again is just literally every infielder except for the second baseman is staring a hole through Birdie to see whether or not he's going to show bunt. He did not show bunt.
Here's the 0-1. The runners go. Pitch outside. Double steal.
That was a set play by the Cubs, and big tip of the hat to Counts and what the Cubs base running and what they were doing. Birdie shows bunts early. The pitcher comes set. They're thinking bunt. The infielders crash, and Brujan just takes off for third base. Great play by the Cubs offense and base running.
Winning run at third. Tucker at second. Birdie at the plate. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Bednar. A breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 1-2.
Most closers in our game, and I mean forever, do a very poor job at holding runners on the bases. Their idea is to just get the hitter out. That worked in the Cubs' favor.
The pitch. Bernie fouls it back. Count remains 1-2. Everybody's in. All four infielders, all the outfielders shallow. Game on the line. No one out. Last of the 10th. Cubs 2, Pirates 2. Brujan at third, Tucker at second. Birdie at the plate, a 1-2 count. Bednar along set, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a splitter, 1 away.
Now you got Ian Happ at the plate. Birdie chased it, a little split finger. This ball down and away. Tough pitch to lay off of.
So let's see if Ian Happ can walk it off. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored here today. Men at second and third, bottom 10, 2-2 game. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Another splitter from Bednar, 0-1 on Happ.
Brujan doing a good job of getting well down the line at third with all these split fingers that you get from Bednar. One of these can end up in the dirt and get away from the catcher.
Infield in, outfield shallow. Cruz playing Happ the other way toward left center. Now the 0-1. Happ swings and misses at a splitter, 0-2.
Split finger inside corner, probably at the knees. It was down. Brujan at third base getting a big lead, as we said. He will be going on contact.
Happ waits for the 0-2. Here it comes. Line drive, base hit to right. Cubs win the ball game. Brujan scores. Ian Happ walks it off as the Cubs beat the Pirates 3-2 in 10.
Big swing of the bat for the Cubs. Bednar ahead in the count, 0-2, and then hangs a split finger in the zone about mid-thigh, and Ian hits a bolt past the drawn-in infield on the right side. Cubs win. Cubs win. Big, big game for the Cubs. They needed this one. They win a series against Pittsburgh, beating them 3 out of 4.
A 3-2 victory in 10 in the finale here today. The Cubs mobbing Ian Happ just in front of second base after his walk-off single. Scores Vidal Brujan to end the ball game. And Coom, the toast of the game, is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Binny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
How about the guy that just drove in the game winner, Ian Happ, ends up finishing this ball game here in the 10th inning with a line drive bullet to right.
Let's send it downstairs. Bruce Levine has a special guest.
Dansby Swanson with me, and Dansby, yesterday you set the scenario of this game perfectly. You talked about how difficult runs are being scored, and you said, we love it. We'll bring it on because this is what we have to do to win games, and we normally do it. You did it all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, those guys over there have been pitching really, really well recently. Starters been going deep into games. Their bullpen's been really good recently as well. So we knew that coming into it was going to be a battle and a grind, and we just got to go up there and continue to trust yourself, trust your at-bats, and find ways to put runs across. There's so many ways you can do it, and we're finding ways to do it.
Today was like Yosemite Park, not Wrigley Field. You hit a ball that normally out. You drove in a run early, but it's created a lot of toughness for this team, hasn't it?
100%. I mean, you just got to embrace it. We talk all the time, embrace Wrigley, embrace the variables, whether it's the wind or the weather, and you just got to find a way to get it done, right? Like, our job is to show up and to win baseball games, and no matter how it happens, Nobody's asking how we win them, just as long as if we win them.
All right, now I'm just asking you, will you and Mallory take me with to Chicago Cut for the best steak in Chicago?
Yeah, bring it on.
Thanks, Dansby. Thank you. Enjoy it. All right, guys, back to you in the booth.
Another dinner for Bruce at Chicago Cut.
Brucey's going to eat more steak than anybody in Chicago before the summer's over.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Chicago Cut Steakhouse features 100% USDA prime steaks and seafood served overlooking the yachts traveling down the Chicago River while guests gaze up at one of the world's most iconic skylines. Chicago Cut's expanded bar has become the city's place to be seen, with guests enjoying one of Chicago's extensive wine and spirits offerings.
To be seen with Bruce, you mean?
Yes, that too, yeah. Bruce is always around. He's a big shot. Don't forget to check out the secret food menu, only offered at the bar, although I'm sure Bruce can repeat it by heart when he joins Dansby and Mallory out there. Come experience polished service, a vibrant energy, and exceptional cuisine at Chicago's best steakhouse, Chicago Cut. Cubs win on a walk-off single by Ian Happ in the 10th, 3-2 over the Pirates. They are now 44-28 on the year as they take 3 of 4 from Pittsburgh this weekend. Third career walk-off hit for Happ. Back with the recap when we come back on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Future You is using their Rapid Rewards for their next vacation. All thanks to Present You signing up with Southwest Airlines, where you earn points every time you fly. Because what's the point of points that Future You can't use? And since your Rapid Rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward Future You with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
The best moments in life weren't meant to sit in a box, gathering dust in the attic, or stuck on outdated tapes. They're meant to be seen, heard, and shared again and again. That's why Legacy Box exists, to help you preserve and relive your family's history. Imagine being able to text a video of your grandparents to your kids, or share a childhood memory with your siblings in seconds. Legacy Box makes it that easy. Just fill your Legacy Box with all your analog media. Send it to our headquarters in Tennessee, where we digitize everything by hand. And in just a few weeks, we'll send back your originals, digitized, preserved, and stored in the cloud, so you can easily stream, download, and share your memories anytime, anywhere. Join the millions of families that have trusted Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value for 50% off. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off.
Refresh your home with Benjamin Moore. Now through June 16th, save 20% on Benjamin Moore Woodlux exterior stains and samples at participating retailers. Visit benjaminmoore.com.
The Catch of the Game is sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover a weekend getaway in Des Moines where only the S's are silent. Find all the fun at catchdesmoines.com. We're going to give the Catch of the Game to Nico Horner, who made that nice backhanded diving catch of the line drive by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa along the edge of the center field grass to end the top half of the 10th inning as the Cubs walk it off in the last of the 10th. Ian Happ with an RBI single to win it 3-2 over the Pirates. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the...
Play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
third base by Brujan. That is an outstanding job all the way around. You get a veteran hitter showing bunt early, pulling it back right away. Brujan at the same time taking off. Excellent play, and then Ian coming up with the big hit. So some really good fundamental baseball by the Cubs, and that's what helps you win games.
And a reminder, that double steal by the Cubs in the bottom of the 10th, powered by Atturo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Atturo.com. Cubs take 3 of 4, day off tomorrow. It's been a while. And then the Cubs begin a pivotal 3-game set against second-place Milwaukee in the National League Central on Tuesday night. Ben Brown will get the ball for the Cubs. The right-hander's 3-5 with a 5+ ERA. Fellow right-hander Chad Patrick will go for the Brewers. He's 3-6 with a 3.25 ERA. Game 1 of 3 starting Tuesday night. Our coverage begins 6:30 in the evening Tuesday. Pat will be back. First pitch coming your way at 7:05 on Tuesday night. A reminder to stay tuned for Matt Spiegel's postgame show, which follows immediately. Thank you, Spiegs, for all your help this weekend. Want to thank our engineer, Paul Zarang, the maestro, for helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. For Ron Coomer, I'm Zach Zaidman saying thanks so much for listening to the Cubs beat the Pirates 3-2 in 10 today. Happy Father's Day. Have a great rest of your weekend. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast has been brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WSCR 670 The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network has been presented to you in part by Benny's Beverage Depot, Nissan, Benjamin Moore, Hefty Trash Bags, Atturo Tire, James Hardy Building Products, Volvo, Roofers and Waterproofers Joint Apprenticeship Program, Joel Got Wine, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday afternoons with the Spiegel and Holmes Show, 2 to 6 on The Score.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
It's time for Trash Day Nose Yoga with Hefty. Let's transform stinky scenarios with a joyful scent of Fabuloso. Inhale. You forgot to empty your kid's lunchbox. Exhale. A field of lavender. Inhale. Stinky leftovers. Exhale. Watermelon in the summer. That's the power of Hefty Ultra Strong Trash Bags with Fabuloso.
Hefty, hefty, hefty! Everyone loves a fresh haircut for summer, but with the weather warming up and the kids out of school, this season is the time for making memories, not appointments. That's why you should go to Great Clips. You can use convenient online check-in to get in for a cooler, shorter haircut for less whenever you have time. Plus, their skilled salon stylists save your haircut details in clip notes, so you can get the same cut next time, no matter who you see. So, what are you waiting for? Get in, get out, and get back to enjoying summer with time-saving haircuts at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first.